proof of you being racist?
I slurred, and that's a big difference. So I'd say when I was younger and engaged in the use of slurs that I sure was racist, homophobic, as well as other things, and I'm very regretting of my bigoted past, but I'm very happy that I as a person can grow, change my character through the use of education, then turn around and share that education with others. Opal, I appreciate you for the $2 on Venmo. So I just want to ask you, what is your definition of racist?
Dude, the crash out is crazy. You're literally racist and you're trying to hide it. It's crazy.
Okay, I asked you a question. What is
I understand you're trying to justify it, but at the end of the day, you're a racist and you're trying to come back from it, but the facts are there. So
okay. So once again, I've already clarified, right, that I think that the use of slurs is bad, and I think that the use of slurs is racist. However, I don't think that I'm racist today, as I no longer engage in the use of slurs. But please answer my question. Right. What is your definition of racist?
You used to be racist, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, so you used to be racist. Okay,
yes. Great. So once again, do you mind if I ask you what your definition of racism is?
I mean, honestly, you would be on the front page of that definition.
Okay, so that's an example. I'm asking you what your definition is. Joy, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo for not being racist anymore. I appreciate you so much, Joy. Let's get some W Joys in the comment section. See, it never works. Like the conservatives, like they want to create this manufactured rage, but it just doesn't work. Like he can't even define racism. It's hilarious.
But you're racist and you're trying to say you're past it or something, but it's so weird because you're a racist.
As soon as you could define that term, we could continue our conversation.
I don't want to really have an in-depth conversation with a racist.
Okay, so I mean, you're a glooba-gabba-glap. I don't want to have a conversation with a glooba-glabba-glap.
Okay. Dude, you look sick, by the way. I think this thing has taken a toll on you. Under your eyes, it looks unhealthy.
No, it's because I only got 7 hours of sleep last night. But because he can't define racist, we're going to move on to our next guest here, y'all. Let's go to see what our next guest here has to say. We're going to go to get Kinsey up in the live. Thank you so much for the Rockstar Enzo. See, it's just manufactured rage, chat. What's going on, Kinsey? Are you voting for Trump?
I would like you to persuade me into voting for Kamala.
Are you voting for Trump?
I don't know who I'm going to vote for.
Okay, well, I mean, hopefully that I could convince you through the live, but we are just looking to debate people that are voting for Trump. But if you want good reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, I'd go ahead and reference my recent post on X or Instagram. Just look up Dean Withers. But what's up, Samuel? Are you voting for Trump?
No.
Hello, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. Verena. You got to tell me how to pronounce your name, and I will happily say hey, because I love you. We all love you here. You run a phenomenal account. If you could tell me how to pronounce your name, I'll happily say hello. What's up, Dylan? Are you voting for Trump?
Oh, absolutely, Dean.
Okay, what's that?
Well, I mean, I think he's going to lead this country. I think he's going to build back better than ever.
Jesse, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Let's get some W Jessies in the chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jesse, for the $10. So yeah, why so?
Why what? Why do I think he's a better option?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could go on a list, man, but
okay, let's hear it.
I just feel like Trump better. I think he just better represents, what the people want.
Like how so?
Well, he just accommodates for people more, I feel like.
Like how so? Give me an example.
Well, I mean, a most recent one, he worked at McDonald's, and Kamala, I guess, lied about working there.
Wait, how do you know that Kamala Harris lied about working at McDonald's in 1983?
Well, I mean, McDonald's just came out and said that they have no track record of her working there.
What did they actually say? They said that they don't have employment records from the 80s.
Yeah, they well I mean,
come on,
there.
Dylan.
She didn't work there, man.
I'm still waiting for you to give me your evidence for that claim.
I mean, do you have any evidence that she did work there?
Nope. It's fine if you're agnostic on it, but you can't assert the positive claim that it's a lie. Right?
Okay,
because the claim, what the claim is here is that Kamala Harris said that she worked at McDonald's in 1983, and McDonald's said that they don't have employment records for anyone that worked at McDonald's in the 80s. But I just find it incredibly I find it incredibly inconsequential, and I also find it very hypocritical of you to say that she didn't work there. How come 70% of Republicans are willing to believe Donald Trump with blind faith when he says that he won the 2020 election? How come all Republicans are willing to believe Donald Trump with blind faith when he says that he donated a couple $1 million of his personal finances to victims of the hurricane, which are very consequential claims. But then as soon as Kamala Harris just says what her high school job was, you start pissing and shitting out of your eyeballs.
Okay, man. Well, listen, you're being very disrespectful right now, and this is why a lot of people. Okay. Well, let me explain. It's because a lot of
Ali, thank you so much
people-
for the $3 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love.
Dean, here's the thing, man. Listen, I know you're just like, I know you're doing this because, you know, you want to debate people. I respect that. But the thing is, man, it's hard to have a debate with someone, a civil one.
Susan, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo
Whenever
saying ignore the
you-
haters.
whenever
I
you
appreciate you for the love,
disrespect
Susan. W's for Susan in the chat. Thank you so much. I think that you need to toughen up, Buttercup. If you like start crying because I say that like you are just so mad and conservatives start pissing and shitting
I'm
in
not
their eyeballs
crying.
when she makes when Kamala Harris makes an inconsequential claim, but then you turn around and you support the guy that's made fun of disabled reporters, called all black people lazy, and called for a termination of the Constitution. It's just a little bit like insane to me. Like I thought that you were supposed to be the tough guy, you know?
Listen, listen, dude. The thing is, I want to be able to get my point across, and you know, like I want to be able to do it in a civil way. You know, I don't want to disrespect you.
Yeah, we could do that. That's kind of the point of the lives.
Well, but see, I
Soretto,
already
thank
feel
you so
a
much
lot
for
of
the
your
$10 on
guests-
Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love, Soretto. Let's get some W Sorettos in the chat for the $10. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you.
Well, Dean, listen, this is just a word of advice for you, man. You know,
Okay, you're completely just detracting away from the debate. I hope you know that. Like
Okay,
the substance of the debate
that's
was as
fine,
follows.
but-
You said
okay,
that
I get it.
one second, let me speak. The substance of the debate was as follows. You made the claim that Kamala Harris lied about working at McDonald's. I asked you for your evidence. You said that McDonald's reported that they had no record of her working there. I corrected you because what McDonald's actually reported is that they have no record of any employee from the 80s because when like prior to electronic filing they dumped their records every 7 to 10 years. That was common business practice. And then I said that the claim that she made that she worked at McDonald's was ultimately inconsequential. While we have no reason not to believe her, I don't really care if you're agnostic on if it's true or not, but yet it is hypocritical that you'll believe Trump with blind faith when he says he won 2020. You'll believe Trump with blind faith when he says he donated millions of dollars with his personal finance to victims of the hurricane without evidence. But as soon as Kamala Harris tells you her high school job, all of a sudden it's the biggest issue in America. That's absolutely and obviously a lie. And John, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I really appreciate you. Massive W John's in the chat. Thank you for the $5.
Well, look, I mean, well, see, Dean, you are correct. You know, I'll give you that. I mean, see, I will admit that I did just make an assumption, but that I feel like that assumption is fair to make because she's just been caught up on many lies, you know, throughout the years. I feel like she's just not very truthful. I feel like she just doesn't really focus on policy. I feel like she rather focuses more on gaslighting Trump.
What's the biggest lie she's ever told, and how many lies has she told in the last 4 years?
Okay, well, I mean, do you want me just to pick one, or
What do you think? What is the biggest lie that Kamala Harris has ever told?
Well, she just gaslights Trump and she lies about him.
So name the biggest lie she's ever told.
Well, she says that, you know, Trump lost the election, but I think that's not something that she should really be focusing on. I think she should really be focusing on
Wait, so you think that Trump won the election?
Of course I do, absolutely.
Oh, so wait, so when I say that Trump lost 2020, you think I'm lying?
Well, I mean...
Okay, so there was 63 handpicked courts by Trump, 34 with Republican-appointed judges, 17 with Trump-appointed judges. All 63 of those handpicked courts ruled that there was no sufficient evidence to deem that Trump had won 2020. Mike Pence said that Trump lost. Ivanka Trump said that Trump lost. Melania Trump said that Trump lost. Bill Barr at the DOJ said that Trump lost. Palmia Pope, I appreciate you for the $5 on PayPal. I do really appreciate
Dean,
you. Okay,
listen.
The Supreme Court said... One moment. The Supreme Court said that Trump lost. Congress said that Trump lost.
This conversation when you're talking this way. You need to slow it down. That way we can process this information. This is why I've watched your lives for a long time. Your guests get very frustrated with you because they want to just have a civil conversation. You switch topics so quickly, and God forbid I don't answer one of your points that you've brought up there that I'm just...
Okay, we got a Karen on the live.
Yeah.
We got a Karen on the live. So
I don't
first of all,
I'm a Karen.
I'm not
I don't
switching
think
topics.
so.
I asked you for the biggest lie that Kamala Harris has ever told, and you said that is that Biden won 2020, right? So in response
That's just
to that,
one of them. I'm not
so
saying
Dylan,
that's the
do you mind if I
biggest
finish talking here? Thanks. So in response to that, I was then giving you all the reason in the world to believe that Biden had won 2020 with certainty. I don't believe that I was talking fast. I can slow down the way in which I'm speaking, though. But absolutely was it a pivot, and it was absolutely relevant, right? So I will go ahead and continue what I was saying, right? So we know that Trump lost 2020. The idea that Trump won 2020 is a big like propaganda conspiracy theory. Over 63 handpicked courts by Trump all ruled that he lost, including 17 courts with judges that he put there. Same thing with the DOJ and Bill Barr. Same thing with his VP Mike Pence, his own personal family members, and 44 members of his own cabinet. Same thing with all members of Congress, apart from 11 senators. There's never been one court that has ruled any sufficient reason to believe that Trump won 2020. And the biggest push to justify that he did from 1,000 Mules, the creators of that movie ended up admitting
2,000 Mules.
No evidence for what they said.
2,000, not 1,000. But I understand what you meant. So anyway, here's what I'm going to say. So all those courts dismissed those cases. Okay, that's what happened. He came in with all of this evidence, and they just dismissed it. They wouldn't even look
because he didn't have enough evidence.
I think if you have evidence, that you should be able to present that in court, and you should have a case.
They ruled
Doesn't
that
matter.
he didn't have evidence, though. What was the evidence of widespread voter fraud in 2020?
Listen, dude, I'm not gonna. I just feel like there's more important issues to talk about now. I mean, what happened in 2020? I just feel like it's unfortunate.
You will either tell me the evidence that Trump won 2020, or you will tell me that you don't have any evidence that Trump won 2020.
Okay, well, we can have this conversation if you want, but I'm just saying it's just not relevant at this point in time. I feel like we should just be more focused on this election.
It is directly relevant, right? Don't pull a JD Vance on me. You will respond, or I will move on.
What do you mean pull a JD Vance?
That's exactly what JD Vance has been saying to people that have been interviewing since his debate with Tim Walz. But anyways, I'm going to repeat what I said. You made the claim that the biggest lie that she's ever told, which shows that her character is not virtuous, is the fact that she thinks Trump lost 2020.
Well, that's one of the lies. You keep twisting it. You keep twisting what I said.
I asked you to name the biggest lie that she's told.
That's one of the lies.
Dylan,
that's just the first one that came to my head.
3, 2, 1. Thank you. If you continue to overspeak me, I will put you on mute. So once again, you told me that that's the biggest lie she's ever told. I gave you an insurmountable amount of reason insofar as why Trump lost 2020. You said that there's evidence that he won. So you will either provide me with the evidence for widespread voter fraud in 2020 to justify that Trump had the election stolen from him, or you will admit that you don't have any. Those are your two roads. I don't care about your gaslighting, pivots, or dodge. Respond directly to my question or go back to the comment section.
Okay. Well, what do you want to know?
Any evidence of widespread voter fraud in 2020 sufficient to overturn the results of the election?
Dude, there's so much coming at, like, you've heard of, like, the dead people voting, right?
So actually, right, if you're
so many
curious,
people came out and said that they voted twice.
So quote unquote dead people vote in every election. Why that happens is because people will vote and then people will die. However, we know that the 2020 election was the safest election in recorded U.S. history because of the incessant audits and investigations that have been done into it.
Give me a break.
That wasn't a lie. I could give you the audits. Like you act like I'm just saying things like you are. I'm not engaging.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not
it took
engaging.
us weeks to count the election, man.
Yeah, it did. So what's the issue?
Dean.
Like, I just want to point it out how fucking insane it is. Now, how about you shut the fuck up, Dylan? I just want to point out how insane it is that Republicans are so brain rotted that they will like laugh and snicker and joke at someone that's just reporting objective reality. Like, I'm over here sitting saying that the 2020 election is the safest election in recorded history because of the incessant audits that have been done into it. And then I have my sources pulled up on my laptop. These are publicly available. They're from first, second, and third fucking parties across the country, and they'd all report the same congruent fact. But then the response from the delusional hearsay conspiracy theorists is, really? You really believe that? Like, oh my God. Like, imagine you walked up to a flat earther and you were like, well, the earth is round, and I believe that this is the case, not only because of reason X, Y, and Z, and NASA, and all the pictures and the live streams that we have straight from the ISS, and this and that and the other, and there's no ice wall, and you could like circumnavigate the world, and this, that, and the other. Rebecca, think of the $4 of PayPal. Then they're just like, this guy thinks that the earth is round. You know what I mean?
Okay, listen, Dean.
Sydney, thank you so much for the $5 of him. I do really appreciate you for the love. W City's in the chat.
I'm sorry if you got upset over the way I reacted. But the thing is, dude, is that yes, I do think that's pretty preposterous because, you know, there was
Why?
just so many flaws with
what?
that election.
Like what?
There were, dude. They're like, listen,
the
this
flaws.
is why a lot of people aren't voting this election.
name the
They
flaws.
feel like there's no integrity. And that's
please.
important in our U.S. file. Oh, okay.
Okay, we actually just got a flag for civil and electoral integrity, so we're gonna move on to our next guest. For the 4.8 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. That guy really irked me. Anyways, if you do want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in the bio as well as in the link tree. I do appreciate y'all for your support. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes. Huh? Yeah.
All right. Why are you voting for Trump, man?
Well, lots of reasons. I mean, like I said, it would be, foreign policy. It would be economy. The real reason that I wanted to jump in here real quick is just on the election.
Nick, I appreciate you for the $10 and the 38 cents on PayPal. Let's get some W Nicks in the comment section. I do really appreciate you for the love, Nick. Thank you so much, Nick. W Nicks down below. Thank you for the $10. But go ahead. I apologize for interrupting you.
No, you're good, buddy. You're good.
Nick.
Like I said, the only thing I would point to, is just that I feel is obvious, and I think anybody should think is an issue, was kind of the widespread suppression of information. And we've recently, had, whatever was released by the FBI and those, that obviously it was significantly suppressed the Hunter Biden situation through, when we had the Twitter files come out, and I can't remember exactly what the name of the report was, but it was, it was a bipartisan third party, that came out and said, hey, look, 1 in 4 votes.
Hey, is it okay if you can mute the TV in the background?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that, buddy. I didn't realize it was, just a second.
Oh, that's a lot of loud noise. Yeah, so I could go and respond to this. So you're referring to the Hunter Biden laptop story, right? At the time prior to the election, we had no reason to believe that that Hunter Biden's laptop was real. Of course, I don't think that those stories should have been suppressed, but I'd also say that we see this on both sides of the aisle, and if anything, we see it intentionally on the right side of the aisle, and that has been proven in a criminal court. So it was proven in a criminal court that Donald Trump had falsified business documentations. He was charged with 34 felony counts in the state of New York for that. And then, in byproduct of that, it was also proved in the court that those felonies were from paying off Stormy Daniels with business funds to suppress her from coming out about the fact that he had slept with her and cheated on his wife. Right, and the same thing can also be said about election interference in the last 3 elections from Russia. Right, and that was proven in the Mueller report by the DOD and the CIA. But R, thank you so much for the $22 on Venmo. Let's get some WRs in the chat. Thank you for the $22 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for that. WRs in the chat. I thank you so much. Thank you so much, R. WRs in the chat. Thank you for the $22. But all around, I don't mind if you take an issue with the suppression of information. You just can't be a partisan hack about it. So do you take issue with Donald Trump paying off Stormy Daniels and Russia interfering with the last 3 elections, pushing pro-Trump propaganda?
I don't. Well, first of all, the Stormy Daniels trial I think was bullshit.
Okay, so then I think that Hunter Biden's laptop is bullshit.
Okay, well, what I'm saying with this though is that it was pretty clear that with the suppression of this, when you have a Twitter executive,
No, it wasn't his laptop.
But it was his.
No, wait. In what court was that proven?
What do you mean? What he said it himself?
I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit.
He admitted to himself.
No, I'm going to go ahead and engage in conspiracy theory and reject that just because I don't want it to be true. See, that's what you're doing with this 34 felony counts, right?
Well, no, I'm not, because it was unprecedented what they did with that. Unprecedented.
Okay, what were the felony counts for?
For him using campaign funding in order to make the hush money pay off, or however.
You think that fraud with election funds is unprecedented?
No, I don't believe fraud with election funds was committed.
Okay.
That.
So what reason do you reject the 34 felony counts?
Okay, but see, we're pivoting from my initial point, though.
No, because I said I was very clear with what I said. You can take issue with the suppression of information, keeping that away from voters, but it is the case that you can't be a partisan hack about it. If you want to take issue with the Hunter Biden laptop story, you have to take issue with Trump paying off Stormy Daniels. You have to take issue with Trump suppressing the outcomes of the 2020 election, saying that he won even though he lost. You have to take issue with Trump denying his fake electorate plot in the public, then admitting it to the Supreme Court. You have to take issue with Trump denying the fact that he raped E. Jean Carroll insofar as him convincing the Republican voter base that was all a lie, even though it's true.
Oh,
Elisa,
then
I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Elisa. Elisa's in the chat. I really do appreciate that. You have to take issue with like a multiplicity of these things in which the Trump and the right are actively suppressing information.
How are they suppressing that information? That information is very clearly known to everybody. The trial was very public. How is that suppressing information?
Yeah, because Donald Trump is denying the outcome.
The FBI in any way suppress that?
Because Donald Trump is denying the outcome.
So him denying it, how is that suppressing information?
Yeah, because he's suppressing the truth of the information by convincing his voter base that it's not true. I mean, isn't this what you would say that Biden and the FBI? Hey, one second. Isn't this what you'd say that Biden, the FBI, and the government did with Hunter Biden's laptop story when they said that it wasn't true that it was from that it was from Hunter Biden, that was how they are engaging in like suppression of information in the election?
No, suppression of information was having a weekly standing meeting
with
a Twitter executive to specifically say you cannot talk about this. Do not talk about this on your platform. To suspend large creators on there to keep them from talking about the story. That is.
One second, I have no issue with you taking issue with this. You just can't be a partisan hack about it. So go ahead and condemn Trump for paying off Stormy Daniels so she wouldn't tell the masses about sleeping with him prior to the 2016 election. Go ahead and condemn Trump for saying that the court held him liable for raping Eugene Carroll was wrong and correct and it was a kangaroo court. Go ahead and condemn these things. To be a true American, right? And condemn the suppression of information. Just don't do it in a partisan manner. That's all that I'm asking you here.
But you're conflating two different things.
No. I'm not making a conflation. It is dude. He literally got charged with falsification of business records for suppressing information from the public by paying Stormy Daniels off when he slept with her. So then she wouldn't go to the general public and tell everyone else that occurred.
How is he suppressing something?
He literally paid her to keep her mouth shut, dingus.
Well, they had a non-disclosure agreement on what that's not uncommon.
Oh my God. Yeah. So if you don't think that paying Stormy Daniels to keep her mouth shut so she didn't tell other people that he had slept with her while he was married prior to the election is not suppression of information, I don't think that the government asking Twitter not to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop story was suppression either. Thank you for the thank you so much for the shiny air balloons. I appreciate that.
You don't think that the government going after a social media company that anybody should be able to put out whatever information they want to talk about, and they're going in there and telling no, we can't put this out in the public. You don't think that's suppressing information?
Yeah, no, I don't at all. If you don't think that hush money and death threats are suppression of information, not at all.
Okay, first of all, if we're going to talk about hush money, how many millions of taxpayer dollars are spent on politicians on every side of the aisle each year in fucking Washington to keep these stories quiet of regardless of what it may be. So it goes both ways on that. My point on
you
this
don't
is
think it goes both ways because you won't condemn Trump for paying off Stormy Daniels prior to the election. I'm so sorry, sir. If there's no debate, there's no debate to be had. If like you don't think that Donald Trump paying Stormy Daniels money from his election fund to not talk about the fact that she had slept with him before the election, and which they then prove that is a second step crime in a criminal court beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, I'm just gonna move on to the next guest, dude. I'm not here to talk to conspiratorial partisan hacks.
Okay, that's fine. It's not conspiratorial. You simply won't admit the fact that was a pretty fucked up thing to do to keep that from the public specifically.
No, as soon as you start acting in a partisan manner and you stop engaging in conspiracy theories, so will I. I will only engage in conspiracy theories as long as you do. But I mean, shit. I have a question. How come the MAGA conservatives get so goddamn pissed when the liberals use their same tricks? You are putting no critical thought into Trump's 34 felony counts. You are absolutely denying the truth. You're misconstruing reality when it comes to that being suppression of voter information. I'm going to do the same thing, sir. I'm going to use your tactics. I'm going to use your fucking tricks. Then I have no clue how the government going to Twitter and telling them not to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop story is suppression of information.
If anything, charging Donald Trump with those charges, he was found guilty, he's guilty. Fine. Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah, so then you think he was guilty not only of falsification of business records, but with the intent to sway the outcome of a federal election, because that was a second step crime in which he was charged and found guilty of.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Doing that is the exact opposite of suppression of information.
Bro, he was literally charged with attempting to sway the outcome of an election. That was the second step crime. It was the falsification of business records with an intent to sway the outcome of an election by suppressing the information that he had slept with Stormy Daniels. And if you're just going to take all this information and you're just going to deny it and you're going to say it's fake, I have a couple things that I'm going to say too. Hunter Biden's laptop, that was from Russia. Hunter Biden's admittance that it was his laptop, user their course paid off, or it was AI. And no, the government never went to Twitter. Elon Musk lied, and he put that on Twitter just to further shit on the Democrats, which is more reason why we should vote for the Liberal Party, because they're currently suffering a persecution from a legitimate media sources such as Elon Musk and Twitter.
That's fucking absurd, Dean, and you know.
Thank you so much. You looked in the mirror and you called yourself absurd. You were great, because I just repeated the same talking points with the same logical coherency that you and all the other Trump individuals coming up on my stream have been telling me since I started.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell to say to that. It's so fucking stupid. Like,
God damn, you finally see it. He's finally seeing the light. He's literally finally seeing the light, guys. He's finally seeing the light.
There is no light to see. Immediately, all you wanted to do was pivot away from the actual point that was being brought up. Oh, well, Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump did that. With absolutely no thought put into, yeah, this was fucked up. They certainly shouldn't have done that.
I made my position clear. Hunter Biden's laptop was from Russia. They politically persecuted him in court. They either paid him off or threatened his life to get his admittance, or it was just AI. And no, the government never went to Twitter and Elon Musk. Elon Musk falsified those files and put them online to politically persecute the liberals. Because at the end of the day, the Democrat platform is being attacked by the deep state, is being attacked by these media sources. And no, it is not conspiracy theories, not lies. You just need to use your brain. It's obvious and common sense. Wake the fuck up, brother. Honestly, you're quite the soy boy, and you probably sit down when you pee.
Okay, all right.
See how I sound just like every single Trump supporter that comes up on my live?
Dean, I didn't personally attack you one time, man. So I mean,
dude, I'm just using talking points from the right. I'm using your talking points.
Okay, well, I'm not the right. I'm just an individual human being having a conversation with you. But I mean, if you want to just resort to a personal attack, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't further a conversation. Yeah, we obviously disagree on this. But that speaks to your character to do that, man. So that's fine. All right.
So do you have a response?
Well, yeah, my response is, man, it's fucking childish. Like there's no reason to go there.
Okay.
There was. We're trying to have a legitimate conversation.
Yeah, so you said that I just sounded stupid and childish. And this is exactly what I have to say about what you believe in, too, because you use the same conspiratorial techniques when it came to Trump's 34 felonies. You didn't know what they were for, but yet you called them lawfare. You rejected the findings of a court, even though it was proved criminally beyond a reasonable shadow of doubt without knowing the verdict of the jury. All right, and then you deny that was voter suppression, even though he literally paid someone off to keep quiet about information that could have potentially swayed the outcome of the election. And that is the exact same argument that you gave to me. However, it was in the context of Hunter Biden's laptop story, and then I use your same logic back on you, and all of a sudden it's pure stupidity. So do you see, all right, how like there's these certain like particular conspiratorial techniques in which are conventionally upheld by the right, and when you hear them from someone with opposing views, you could recognize how bad they are?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to go over?
Clearly not. No.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up. I think that's going to be my new tactic, chat. I'm pretty sure that's going to be my new tactic, is just literally using these same people's like talking points and logical arguments against them. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure that's going to be my new tactic. I've never done that before, and that was great. That was like a master class. Holy shit. That was great. Okay. For the 3.8 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, we're going to go ahead and restart the stream, y'all. So everyone just click on Parker's account. Make sure to drop him a follow, show him some love. I'm going to be right back in 30 seconds. We just have to restart for algorithm. I'll see y'all very, very, very happily say hi to you. I just want to put that out there. Verena. If that's right. Hi, Verena. I don't know if that's right, though. What's up, Ash? What's going on, Leo? What's up, Lilac? What's going on, Jillian? What's up, Smiley Face? What's up, Hillary, Adam, Elliot, Jameson, Whitney, Matta, Rachel? For everyone tuning back into the stream, it's so good to have you all back in here. We're going to go ahead and just hop right back into the debates, guys. If you are voting for Trump, make sure to hop in that queue. Let's go and just get our first guest, Cole White, up out of the stream, guys. Verena, you know what? Text me on Instagram. Text me on Instagram how to pronounce your name. I'll check on my computer and I'll say hi to you on the live. What's up, Cole? Are you voting for Trump?
Can I just ask you something real quick?
I am just looking for Trump supporters. I do appreciate you for coming up. If you'd love to ask me a question, feel free to join my Discord. We're gonna get our next guest up in here literally right now, guys. So everyone, just give us a minute. Why am I on Parker's account? Because I have no more accounts. I'm banned on them all. What's going on, Fax? You voting for Trump?
As you said, hella golden, my nigga.
All right, and they just
Yes,
come up
sir.
here and slur. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Let's go and see what Kenny said. Everyone, do just give us a minute here. I apologize for the use of slurs, chat. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. What's going on, Kenny? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am. I'm a dual citizen from the UK, and I'm mailing a ballot for Donald Trump.
Okay, so what state are you registered in the U.S.?
Ohio.
And what's the capital of Ohio?
Cleveland.
All right, so why are you voting for Trump?
My whole family are really. I only just turned 18, so I don't
So
know.
because your family's voting for him?
I think people over-exaggerate how bad Trump's 4 years were. The way people act like if he gets re-elected, it's the end of the world.
Oh, it's actually not. You got the capital wrong. Thank you, guys. Apparently, I didn't know the capital of Ohio either. Thank you for correcting me, chat. I appreciate you guys. I just believed him. I just did. I said it with confidence. Hey, are you voting for Trump?
I just want to know why I should vote for Kamala, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, you should vote for Kamala Harris because she wants to reduce income inequities, codify federal protections for a woman's right to choose, make the average American better off, and fix our economy.
Right. So I used to be really big for Trump, and then I saw a year...
You have a lot of background noise. Feel free to join my Discord. I'd love to talk to you further, but there's just a lot of wind blowing in the background. Hey, Blake, are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, I am.
Phenomenal. Why is that?
So the first main reason I want to talk about is the border and or diplomacy.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So
border.
Trump was a very good diplomatic candidate. He didn't have any new wars underneath him.
He's a terrible diplomatic candidate. No, terrible.
Can you explain why? Just real quick. No, I don't want to be mean. Just
yeah, sure.
explain.
Because Putin thinks that he's easy to manipulate. We have leaked Kremlin documents suggesting that Putin likes Trump because of that, and then we have evidence for this because Trump believed Putin's word of mouth over U.S. intelligence from the DoD and CIA at Helsinki. Then also not to mention that he's just a little bit insane. He threatened to nuke Moscow and flatten Iran, and he actively warmongers in the Middle East today, saying that he'll continue to support and fund Israel so they could quote-unquote finish what they started. But in all reality, we should probably be advocating for a ceasefire so innocent people stop dying. He also told Israel to attack and invade Iran, and if they didn't and they attacked them, that he would flatten their country. I think that the scare tactics are very good for short-term peace because people will just be fucking terrified to do anything bad, but they're not good for long-term cooperations because it negates the ability to actually make peaceful agreements with other countries. He also actively advocates for us to for us to disallow and disengage in the Budapest Memorandum with Ukraine, which was a contractual agreement insofar as why we would be supporting them in their effort against Russia right now. That puts America last because they'll just decrease our ability to create denuclearization with other agreements with other countries, denuclearization agreements with other countries moving forward. I'd say that he's pretty bad for diplomacy.
Okay. I mean, yeah, those are all pretty fair points. I can agree with some of those, but I just feel like the handshake agreements he's had with Kim Jong-un and Putin in the past, I feel like that's something that, no offense to Kamala, I just don't see her doing. Does that make sense?
I don't think that shaking Kim Jong-un's hand, but not getting him to agree with the denuclearization agreement and just giving him more propaganda to show to his people, that's not good diplomacy. I mean, it's an attempt. I'll give him that, but yeah, I don't think that being friendly with dictators is a good thing unless you're able to achieve good ends.
Okay. I mean, I get that, but I just feel like the amount of peace we had during his presidency, I feel like that's something that should be commended and not put down.
If you could explain to me how I caused it, that's fine. But we also had the highest rate of unemployment since the Great Depression during his presidency. So how do we distinguish between him causing one but not the other? Because they both happened under his presidency.
Okay.
You have to isolate for
obviously
variables and explain to me how he caused those things.
Okay. Well, I just feel like causing it isn't the same as continuing it. Does that make sense? So if we had peace before...
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Wait, what year were you born in?
I was born 2006.
It says 2007 in your name. I do appreciate you for coming up, Blake. However, it does say 2007 for your name. Good catch for the person in chat. By the way, yes, I am Parker. I am Parker. I am Parker, chat. Yes, that is me. Hi, Amaya. Are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm not. I am just coming on here to...
I do appreciate you for coming up. I thank you so much for your time, and W's for Amaya in the chat. Based W guest all day, every day, baby. We're going to get our next guest up in here right now. Emma, hello. Are you voting for Trump? Emma left. All right. Coop, hello. Are you voting for Trump? Coopity poop. Coopity poop. You here, baby? No, he's not. All right. Moving on. If you're in the queue, make sure you're voting for Trump. Honestly, if you want to come up, let me know in the chat just by spamming MAGA. We only have a handful of guest requests right now, so do hop in there if you are voted for Trump, y'all. And continue to double tap on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 100,000 likes. Share out that live as well. Let's get to 100 shares. And welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, yeah, a lot less people spamming MAGA in the chat. That's okay. All right, yeah. Everybody, share that live, dude. Hello, Gabrielle. Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am.
Now, why would you do that?
I mean, he's an amazing guy.
No, so wait. Are all rapists bad?
Rapist, bro?
Ken, thank you for the $1 on Venmo. Say rapist, but yeah. Are all rapists bad people?
Big rapist? I'm dead as hell. Nah, I mean, yeah, all rapists are bad.
Okay, so then Trump is not an amazing guy because Trump is a rapist, and all rapists are not amazing guys. They are bad guys.
Where's the evidence for that?
Yeah, a civil court that held him liable for raping E. Jean Carroll in 2022.
And you're voting for Kamala, no?
I am voting for Kamala.
What's your reasons?
Okay, well, that's quite the pivot, but I'll go ahead and entertain it.
All right, my bad.
My reasons would be that she has a much better character and much better policy. She's not a rapist. She's not a felon. She's not a religious persecutor that wanted to ban all new Muslims from coming in. She wants to codify federal protections for all 170 million American women and girls, federally protected access to abortion and right to choose. Right? She's also not a womanizer. She's not a sexist. She's not a racist. She's not a misogynist. She's not a pedophile that sexualizes little girls and boasted about walking into their changing rooms when they're half naked. Then her policy fights for that average American. It's going to be better for the economy, better for inflation, and better for our democracy, point blank period.
And what do you think about Trump and the way he... Actually, you know what? I'm leaving.
Bye. Moving on to our next guest. Teresa, I'd love for you to hop in the queue. I think he said that he was leaving, so we're just going to go and load up our next guest, but maybe Gabrielle will come back. We'll see. Hi, Grant. Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am.
No, why would you ever do that?
Because under Trump, we were getting out of the wars. We weren't entering 2 new wars. Inflation was under control.
Raven, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. About time to go vote for Harris. That was for Raven. Go ahead.
Not rude at all. He is pro crypto, as I was saying. He's not a establishment puppet. He's not a politician. So yeah, he's not going to act like one. So when he's not polished and pig-headed, it's understandable to me because he's not a career politician. And those are the big ones. I'm more of a macro point of view type of guy, not a micro. Everybody.
So I just want to let you know that he is definitionally speaking a politician.
He's what?
Definitionally speaking a politician.
Definitionally? Is that what you just said?
Yes. Definitionally speaking, he is a politician.
That's not a word. Definitionally is not a word.
Ken, I appreciate you so much for the $1 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love to interrupt the guest and to make him mad. It is.
Definitionally.
Yes, that is a word. He's looking that up. By the way, Grant, I can't hear you when you're on pause and you can't see me. It'd be great if you could just come back and we could accept that that's a word and move on. But I guess while you're looking it up to verify that, I'll go to continue responding to your points.
Right, I looked it up.
I am right, yes. So anyways, right, to move on with what I was saying, he is a politician. That is true. And then about what you're saying about being pro-crypto.
He's not a career politician, so he doesn't lie out of both sides of his mouth at all times, like we've been used to.
So how many lies did Kamala Harris tell during the last 4 years serving as VP of our
That's a
country?
stupid question.
That she told?
That's a dumbass question. What am I supposed to know the hundreds of lies? Like what kind of person?
Wait, just like literally take a guess. If you just had a guess, how many lies do you think she's told?
No, I'm not gonna humor your stupid question. Like I'm supposed to keep tally of the number of lies Kamala.
Okay. Well, I mean, we literally kept tally of Trump's. He told over 34,000 confirmed lies during his presidency, with his biggest lie being denying the outcome of the 2020 election, the biggest lie that any sitting U.S. president has ever told, which severely undermined like our civil electoral processes and our democracy as a whole. I'd also like to clarify here that no one has lied more than Donald Trump, especially in politics. We actually have an advisor right from his campaign stating that he can't distinguish between what's true and false. He just says whatever comes to mind, regardless if it's true or false. And like you would have a very difficult burden of proof to justify the claim that Kamala Harris lies more than him. Like he lied about windmills causing cancer. He lied about the 2020 election. He lied about climate change. He lied about like getting a best man award in the state of Michigan. He lied about being in a helicopter crash with Willie Brown. He's lied and lied and lied and lied again. Like incessantly lied.
Okay. So what about Kamala Harris loading up a FC-15, I don't know, one of them big ass planes with supplies to take to the people of North Carolina, only for it to be a fake photo op and never actually sent the plane full of supplies?
Well, that's a new claim. Can I have a source for that?
No, I don't have a source for it. It's something I saw a Navy SEAL say on a podcast. So no, I don't think there's going to be a source.
Oh, well, I mean, that sounds like a really big claim, man. Like, if that happened, that would be like media headlines right now. I'd love for you to give me a source.
I totally agree. I just couldn't believe that it wasn't, and this was about a week ago.
Okay. So your sources trust me, bro. No worries at all. But seemingly,
it was a podcast. It was a live podcast from a Navy SEAL, so there was no written source, bro.
Okay, so where was the Navy SEAL source, bro?
Okay, bro. He was boots on the ground, bro.
Oh, so the Navy SEAL just saw it firsthand?
I'm not.
So Navy SEAL was just hanging out with Kamala Harris, like saw her loaded up, saw her do the photo op, saw him take it all out, and just put the plane back in the bunker. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like that wouldn't cost that much money. Like that's only like at most like $50,000. Like if like Kamala Harris would like just like pay for that to actually happen if she wanted those pictures, because the pushback if she didn't would be insane.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm still. Feel free to give me a source. If you don't want to give me a source, we can move on and just discount.
Yeah, we can move on. I don't have a source. Like I said, it was a podcast.
Okay, so do you care about like? So you seemingly care about like candidate's virtue. Christian, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love. And if you care about a candidate's virtue, like in the sense of lies, why don't you care about a candidate's virtue in the sense of like being a felon or a religious persecutor, or a womanizer, a rapist, a sexist, a racist? Okay, well, he's experiencing MAGA Mobile. We'll go ahead and get someone up here to fill in for him just while he's experiencing MAGA Mobile chat. Okay. While he's experiencing MAGA Mobile, we're going to go and get Joe to fill in for him. Hi, Joe. Are you voting for Trump?
I don't know who to vote for.
Okay, well, I mean, hopefully that this live could convince you. But just ask this one question to yourself. Would you ever vote for someone that's been held civilly liable for rape? If your answer is no, then you never vote for Trump. Hey, Rob, are you voting for Trump?
Parker, no, I'm voting for Mrs. Harris. From a law enforcement community, from a coalition of retired or about to be retired police officers in Pennsylvania. We are total blue here in northeastern Pennsylvania, home of Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, we love you, man. Thanks for popping up, Rob.
I appreciate it all the time.
And thank you for your service too. W's for Rob in the chat. We fucking love you. W Robs, thanks for popping up, dude. You're phenomenal. That's what I love to hear. Now that is that is some good character right there, man. Hello, Grupp. Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, of course.
So why in the hell would you ever want to vote for Trump?
Because I saw him working at my job at McDonald's, so I thought, why not?
So you weren't voting for Trump before yesterday?
No, I weren't. No.
Oh, okay. So like him shutting down a McDonald's and like serving like stage actors, like that just kind of accounts for like causing 65,000 rape victims to not have access to abortion after they got pregnant, or like raping a woman, or attempting to religiously persecute and shut down all new Muslims from coming into the country.
Well, why should we even have Muslims in our Christian country? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
we're not a Christian country.
Yes, we are. The whole country was built on Christian people.
Oh, okay. So do you think that we should ban all new atheists from coming in because they're not Christian?
Well, atheists do not blow themselves up in the name of Allah, so I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do all Muslims blow themselves up in the name of Allah?
No, but all the people who blow themselves up in the name of Allah are Muslims.
Okay, so, well, I mean, this is just Islamophobia. All the people that genocide in the name of Samuel 15 are Christians. All the people that enslave in the name of Leviticus 25 are Christians.
That's just wrong, bro.
No, I'm not joking. Like you understand that like slavery here home in America was like a perpetuated given Christian nationalism in Leviticus 25, where God said that Israelites can own non-Israelites as human property for life.
So you do not believe that the boats that brought the black slaves from Africa to America is Jewish owned?
Oh God! So somehow Islamophobic and anti-Semitic. We're just gonna move on. Hi. Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Why is that?
I like money. I don't like bullshit and fake news. He exposes it all.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're indoctrinated. That's okay. What's your annual income?
I don't make a lot of money. I make about $60,000 a year.
Okay, if you like money, then you should be voting for Harris. Her tax plan is built for you. It's going to benefit you more, especially if you want to own a house or start a business. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's is built for the million and billionaires. It'll benefit you the least, literally speaking, and you're going to be regressively impacted by his tariffs the most. So, like, literally, you'll have more money in your pocket.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear Harris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. So, if you like money, you should vote for Harris. Her tax plan is built for you and another 100 million American workers in the world.
I mean, I wouldn't want to vote for somebody that hangs out with the Diddy party. That's kind of weird. I mean,
so Kamala Harris
I don't want to hang out with somebody that's willing to have a beer during a podcast while real things are happening in Florida. That's also wouldn't want to vote for that. It's kind of wrong.
But you
unless you believe in that, do you believe in drinking and not doing your job? You let me know.
Okay, so you think that drinking is bad, but you don't think that grape
I do think that drinking is really bad. Look at all the DUIs and crashes.
So I just want to clarify. So Kamala Harris drank alcohol. So Kamala Harris is not qualified for presidency. Donald Trump raped a woman.
Kamala Harris has to make fake accents.
Hey, Water Dog, do you mind if I finish here?
No, I mean, go ahead, go for it.
So Kamala Harris drank alcohol. So Kamala Harris is not qualified for presidency. But Donald Trump has raped a woman, has sexualized a little girl saying that he dated her in 10 years, has called all black people lazy, has denied housing opportunities to black people because of the color of their skin, has boasted about grabbing women by the P word without asking first, and says that he can't hold himself back from kissing pretty women, and boasted to Howard Stern on SiriusXM about walking into the changing room of half-naked teenage girls with some girls being as young as 14. And then on top of that, he sexualized his own daughter. On top of that, he engages in incredibly racist and misogynistic rhetoric all day long and has incessantly and unapologetically since the 70s. He's called for religious persecution of all new Muslims coming into our country. He ballooned our deficit and debt. He advocated for tax policy that increased income inequities and actively wants to make the average American worse off. All those things don't impede upon his qualifications, but Kamala Harris having a beer does. You sound like quite the partisan.
You know what's crazy is that Kamala Harris was the vice president for Biden, but Biden took a shower with his 13-year-old daughter. Why would she even want to be the vice president to some man like that? That says something about her more than it says about anything you just said.
Sure. Well, I mean, let's go through this. How do you know that Biden
let's go through this. How is that normal? Let's take a shower. Trump didn't take a shower with his daughter. And if he did, where's the proof? Let me know when he did and
how
what
do you know
year,
that Biden
when
took
it
a
happened.
shower with his 13-year-old daughter?
Oh, was it maybe the fake news? Was it fake news that we hear about? Or can I count it out?
I'm asking you how you know that he showered with his daughter.
It was broadcasted. I mean, do you want me to? I mean,
What was broadcast?
I don't have as much resources as you. I don't have my own studio, so it's really hard for me to look these things up off the top like you do.
Okay.
Broadcasted. You don't know what broadcast? You're over here. You're talking. You don't know what broadcasting means. You don't know how that works.
So
wow, I can't believe I'm talking to someone so stupid. You are so stupid. How can you even have this platform if you're that dumb? I want to know. Speak. Talk.
So I just want to clarify, what was broadcasted that proved that he slept with his daughter or showered with her?
What was broadcasted about anything that you said about Trump? Let me hear. Where's the facts? Where was that broadcasted? How do you know this? And what was your source? Go.
Yeah, sure. So my source for the claim that Donald Trump is a grapist is going to be from a civil court in the state of New York.
Hold on. Grapist? I don't know. I don't understand what grapist means. Can you elaborate more?
Take the G away.
So apist? I don't know what an apist is. I'm sorry, sir. You have me lost.
Spell grapist in your head and take the G away.
Okay.
All right. So sexual abuse.
Why can't you say that? Are you scared that they're going to take you down for saying that? Why don't you say that word?
Because you can't say it on TikTok because of their TOS.
So what you're saying isn't real. So she's a grapist. So you're already dumb. Say what's real. Why are you so scared of TikTok?
Chris Mallory, I appreciate you for the subscription.
Why are you so scared?
So that's just like TikTok TOS. Are you okay?
What? TikTok US? I thought TikTok was from China and we're trying to stop that.
Do you fucking do you need like a binky or some shit?
Oh, I need about 5. I need about 6, 7.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's like.
Oh, I'm so petty. I can bring the level of energy. I got more energy than you. Bring more energy. Let's go. Let me hear something.
We're gonna go ahead and school you on these claims.
You're in a studio.
So do you remember how? Do you remember? Sure, I'll go ahead and school you for 6.7 thousand people to see.
Go ahead.
So you brought up the claim that Joe Biden.
It's bringing more people looking at my page. You're bringing traffic up to me. I like this right now. You're helping me.
So okay.
What are you gonna say?
I'm helping you become a better person. I'm helping you to be educated. So I'd like to clarify. You made the claim. Christine, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for the baby bottle fund for the guests. Thank you for the $5, Christine. Can you thank Christine?
Thank you, Christine, for giving.
Evan, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo to get the guests good. I appreciate you for the $50, Evan.
Christine,
Let's get
send
at
them
least
more.
500
Christine,
W's in the chat for Evan right now.
Christine,
Thank you
I
for the
wanna see you drain all your money.
$50.
Drain all your
Massive
money
W's for Evan.
50%.
And Gerard with the
Christine,
80.
more.
Shut up.
More.
Shut up.
Yeah, keep
Shut
going.
up.
Bring- yeah.
Gerard with the
Let's
$88 and the 88 cents on Venmo.
More.
Thank you so
Bring in
much,
the money.
Gerard. Holy shit. Let's get at least 888 W Gerards in the chat with the $88 and the 88 cents on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much, Gerard. That is absolutely beautiful. I really appreciate that. W Gerards, W Evans for the $50 and the $88. Honestly, I'm hyped. We're gonna go to school with this kid. So earlier you were calling me dumb for not knowing what broadcasting was when you were trying to justify that Biden had showered with his daughter. So I just want to clarify that your partisan hack. You probably heard this from Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, or Charlie Kirk, or a random user on X, and you just ran with it. You don't care about justifying a damn thing that you believe in. Your brain is like the size of an apricot, and you don't use it very often. You just latch onto things that conflict with people that disagree with you, and then you want to drag them for it. Monica, I appreciate you for the $25 on Venmo. W's for Monica in the chat with the $25. I really do appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and educate you on the facts. All right, so the claim that Biden showered with his daughter is going to be coming from Ashley Biden's diary. Ashley Biden had her diary stolen.
All right, so the claim.
Swipe in and swipe in out of the app. You have an echo. Just go to your homepage as if you're going to answer a text message and then come back in. So it came from Ashley Biden's diary that was stolen from her, then sold to Project Veritas, a far-right-leaning think tank that has a track record of
From Ashley Biden's diary that was stolen from her, then sold to Project.
Okay, Water Dog. I know you only have 3 brain cells, but use them. Don't unmute your mic.
From her, then sold to Project. Okay, Water Dog. I know you only have.
Don't unmute your mic. Swipe in and out of your app.
Muting me. I don't know. You keep muting me. I know you keep muting.
Water Dog, I'm muting with you a reason. It's because you have an echo, so I'm echoing through your mic. The way that you fix this echo is by going to the homepage on your phone like you're going to answer a text message, and then come back into the TikTok app. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Is that better?
So anyways, what I was going to say right before you had the echo was that the claim that Biden had showered with his 13-year-old daughter is coming from Ashley Biden's stolen diary that was sold to Project Veritas. Project Veritas has a track history of getting documents on political opponents, editing, manipulating them, then releasing them to the public. And Ashley Biden even said in a letter to the deposition to the court that, specifically speaking, there's been false allegations lobbed at her as well as the people that she loves. All right, as it stands, his claims are unverified, but he's also no longer running for president. All right, in November, I will be voting for Kamala Harris, the person that hasn't sexualized little girls like Trump. In November, I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris, the person that hasn't raped women like Trump. In November, I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris, the person that isn't misogynistic and isn't racist like Trump. In November, I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris, the person that hasn't attempted to religiously persecute like Trump. Demi, thank you for the galaxy, and Annie, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. W's for Demi and Annie, for sure.
So, okay, so how would you feel if Trump was changing his accent for different ethnic groups when he has to speak? Would that be racist because Trump's a white
Summer,
man?
thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo to be a little mean to this jerk. And Stephanie, thank you for the money gun. Let's get some W Stephanies in the chat for the money gun and for the $20. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. Make sure to show some love to the donors. If anyone else does want to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App are in my bio. And Malika with the $25 on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love, Malika. Massive W Malika's in the chat. I really appreciate you so much for the love.
So,
thank you so
can
much,
I talk?
Malika. One moment, I'm still thanking my donors. W Malika's down below, and James, thank you for the $5 on Venmo as well. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so what I was saying was, would it be racist if Trump changed his accent for different ethnicities when he talks to them?
Yep, it would be. But when Kamala
So why
Harris,
is it okay for Kamala to do it? Why is it okay for her
Shalika,
to
thank
do
you
it?
for the $30 on Venmo to teach MAGA what code switching is, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Thank you so much for the love, Shalika. W Shalika's down below in the chat for the $30. Thank you so much for the love. So Kamala Harris is not changing her accent. In fact, Kamala Harris is doing what is called code switching. So in America, there exists something called African American Vernacular English, which is a totally valid, perfectly fine vernacular of English, which is like growing up, people of color are taught that AAVE is either inappropriate, ghetto, or unintelligent. These are racist societal norms that are upheld in institutions, upheld in public schools, and upheld by racist white people here at home in America, right? So they're taught not to speak in AAVE around white people, so they are not automatically perceived as unintelligent or ghetto, right? Because of the racist norms that exist. However, around other black
Why does she
people,
speak like she's
they engage in
Hispanic?
AAVE.
Why does she have a Hispanic accent then when there's Hispanic crowds?
Okay, would you be able to show me a clip?
That's not African American. That's why is she speaking Hispanic then? Why is she speaking with a tone? I can say that I'm Puerto Rican.
Please show me.
show you? Yeah. You haven't seen, so you don't, wow, I thought you were a big Kamala supporter. So you don't watch anything she does? You don't listen, pay attention? Or what do you want, a script? What are you reading off of? You're in a studio. You can look up anything super fast and anybody with a phone right now that has going against you. So
I'm waiting for you to give me a source.
Playing with your card? Yeah.
It's not going to work.
You're really playing with your card. Right,
Cassie, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo saying it's my birthday. Dude, let's get some W's in the chat for Cassie and everyone say happy birthday, Cassie. I appreciate you for the $25. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Cassie. I'm happy you gave him $25. I'm happy
Darius,
that you did that.
$5 on Venmo. Wait, I have a question. Do you think that Donald Trump's racist?
First off, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't think he's racist. You're not racist if you hate every single race the same, equally, right? If you hate every single race exactly the same,
so Donald Trump's not racist, even though he's denied housing opportunities to black people because of the color of their skin, even though he said that all black people are lazy and that he doesn't like black people counting his money, even though he's called for the death penalty for the exonerated Central Park Five after they were exonerated, right? Even though he said that migrants are poisoning the blood of our country, even though he said that Obama was born in Kenya because of the color of his skin, meaning that he shouldn't be able to have the opportunity to run for president, even though he said that Kamala Harris quote-unquote turned black, implying that she wasn't black prior, on top of many other examples. But Kamala Harris is racist for speaking in AAVE. Got it. Jackie, thank you for the $2 on PayPal. I appreciate that. Go ahead and unmute that mic, Pookie Bear.
I'm sorry. Keeps
Heidi, thank you for the fireworks. I appreciate you so much.
But what I was saying is she has every accent. You know, she can do it all. She's trying so hard to get the vote. She's trying so hard. You can see it.
Yo, Vaughn, thank you so much for the $20. Oh my God. I appreciate you so much for the love, Yvonne. Let's get some Yvonne's in the chat. I really appreciate you for the $20. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. W's for Yvonne in the chat. Thank you for the $20. I do really appreciate that. Water Dog, answer my question. How could she be racist, but Donald Trump not be racist? In lieu of all the facts and what I just shared with you. I'll mute the mic, Pooks. Jasmine, thank you for the subscription.
Bro, do you keep muting me or what?
Yeah, just you're not answering my question. So how can she be
What's your
racist?
question? Let me try to answer your question without a studio. Let me try to answer your question with all these resources. I can't just Google shit as fast as you. So what's your question?
Okay, I mean, first of all, for you to assume that I need Google to shit on use the ultimate code. Second of all, how can she be racist but Donald Trump not be racist in lieu of all the facts that I shared with you about Donald Trump and his character and the things that he's done in his past?
Well, first off, okay. Well, so who isn't everybody racist then? If you're gonna get him for every little thing, I'm gonna guess that you might have said some racist things in your life that you won't admit. I'm thinking that you're maybe racist.
What? Yeah.
Prove to me that you're not. How are you not racist? You're a white guy.
Susan, I appreciate you for the subscription. Thank you so much.
How are you not racist?
Thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. So you're saying that it's like
I need you to prove to me that you're not racist because I'm a.
So are you making the argument
by you right now? I'm offended by you. I'm a Hispanic person.
So I just want to clarify. You think that it's like typical for white people to deny housing opportunities to black people because of the color of their skin?
I don't know. I'm Hispanic. I have no fucking clue. They didn't treat me wrong.
Oh wait, are you saying that white people are racist, but like as a Puerto Rican, you're not?
No, I'm saying that every single race is racist towards something.
So then, seemingly, if you want to hold to the position that only white people could be racist, first of all, no issue with that. But this just means that Kamala Harris isn't racist because she's black. And then second of all, I don't really see what your angle is here. Like you're saying that like these are actions engaged by everyone. So like tell me like another president that we've had in modern U.S. history that is like disparaged black people by calling them all lazy, or specifically said that he like didn't rent to black people because of the color of their skin, or like pulled straight from the Mein Kampf and said that like migrants are poisoning the country. Or like pulled straight. You have the echo again. Go in and out of the app. Go in and out of the app, man. In and out of the app, Water Dog, just like last time.
All right, I don't know what's going on with my service.
In and out of the app, Water Dog, just like last time.
All right, I got bad service. I don't know, whatever. All right, I don't know what's going on.
In and out of the app, Water Dog.
I got bad service. I don't know, whatever.
Dude, in and out of the app. You have 3 brain cells. It's so easy. Swipe in and out of the app like you're checking your texts. Molly, thank you for the $5 on Vim. I appreciate it.
Swipe in and out of the app like you're checking your texts.
Dude,
Molly,
holy shit.
Appreciate it.
Huh. There you go.
What about now?
So you said that like all white people are just as racist as Trump. So name another president.
Well, you know what? You just offended me.
So Water Dog,
are you calling me dumb because I'm Puerto Rican? Because
I'm calling you.
that.
I'm calling you.
Why
dumb
is
you're
it because I'm
Florida.
poor? I told you I was poor.
I don't care about the app. So go ahead and answer the question. Go ahead and tell me another U.S. president we've had in modern U.S. history that's called all black people lazy or pulled straight from the Mein Kampf. Thanks. Also, Puerto Rican's not a race.
Barack Obama.
Okay, so where did Barack Obama call black people lazy?
The black people didn't like him. He promised so much to the black community and did nothing.
Okay, like what?
Well, where's all this tax
Thanks so
returns
much
and
for the
everything for the
$2
black
memo.
people? The blacks weren't supposed to live in better environments, supposed to have better education.
So don't call black people black with an S at the end. That is racism. But I'm still waiting for you to answer my question. You said that everyone's engaged in racism just like Donald Trump. So name another president that we've had that's either denied housing opportunities to black people because of the color of their skin, has called all black people lazy, has called for the death penalty for an exonerated group of young black and Hispanic teens, or it said that migrants are poisoning the blood of our country and pulled straight from Mein Kampf. It's simple. Go ahead and answer that. Or
Barack Obama. He did nothing for the black people, yet he said he was going to do everything for them. They despise him. Why do you think Trump has more black votes? And if you say he doesn't, where's your resource that says he doesn't?
What is one
resource
thing that
coming from
Donald Trump
fake
did
news or
for
what?
What is one thing that Donald Trump did for African Americans while he's president?
Oh my God, he made them a lot of money.
How so?
He made why would they want to vote for them if he didn't do anything
How
for
did
them?
Donald Trump did that?
What's that?
How did Donald Trump make black people money?
Tax cuts. He made gas was cheaper. Oh, I know you. Oh, well, it's not Donald Trump's.
Okay,
reason
so
why
specifically
gas
about
was
his tax cuts, they disproportionately favored rich people.
Oh my God, they favored it. They favored it. A lot of the black.
Hey, so they disproportionately favored rich people. 83% of the cuts in the bill went to the top 1%, which would disproportionately favor white people as well because of the socioeconomic discrepancies that exist on the basis of race. All right, also not to mention that they only increased the racial income inequities and only increased income inequities as a whole. They cost $1.9 trillion and didn't increase business investment and only led to a $10 billion increase in our GDP per year. All right, and in contrast to Kamala Harris's tax plan, we know that they're actually worse for members of the low and the middle class because of the regressive impact negatively of tariffs. So when you say that his tax cuts did a lot for black people, well, I mean, you're obviously just politically ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. And you never sat down and read policy in your life there, buddy. So go ahead and tell me one thing that
I'll tell you this. Have you ever been to a black community? You ever been to the hood? Because it doesn't look like you have. By the way you look, you would get beat up. So you've never been to the.
So first of all, I want to associate a black community with the hood or the slums. Like that's just another form of racism. And then second of all, you're not actively engaging in what we're talking about here. So go ahead and respond to my claim. What is one thing that Donald Trump did for black people? If you don't go ahead and do this, we'll go ahead and kick you off and move on to the next guest.
Okay, so I will answer. You set me up with these trick questions. This is how you word it. This is why you guys are so. You're
it's
witty.
a trick question for me to ask you one thing that Trump did for black people.
Ask me the question again. What is it?
It's a trick question for me to ask you for one thing that Trump did for black people.
No, I'm sorry. You told me not to say black people. That's racist to say black people. Did you not say that?
I said it's racist to say that, but I said it's racist to say black with an S at the end. So how many continents are there?
Oh, okay. So what?
Water dog. How many continents are there?
What does that have to do with anything? So
answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. How many continents are there?
I don't know. You got Asia, you got Africa, you got South America, North America. Let's see. Fuck you, dude. I don't fucking know. Why does that matter? Are you calling me dumb because I'm Puerto Rican?
I'm calling you dumb because you know how many continents there are. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest. Yeah, can we just get like everyone laugh at the guest in the chat, dude? Yeah, so smart. We're like the smartest people in the world, bro. Smartest people in the world, dude. The Dunning-Kruger effect, like live 4K is crazy. Like imagine coming up in here and trying to out-ego me while not knowing how many continents there are. Like, bro, like you need to sit down and study, little dude. Jess, I appreciate you so much for the $10 on Venmo. It means the world to me. Let's get some W's for Jess. That is JES in the chat. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next guest here. Let's go to get Young Dill up in the box. Like, dude, the guy needs to sit down, open up a book, study, learn a thing or two. That's crazy. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, sir. What's good, man?
All right. So why are you voting for Trump?
I'm just really voting for him based off of really past experiences alone. The 4 years that he was in office, I had more money in my pocket. Everyone around me made more money.
Yeah. So
and
how did Trump cause you to make more money, or
led
how did Biden and Harris cause you to make less?
I'm not looking into it as far as how or why. I'm saying I made more money. I'm basing it off of experiences, not studies.
Okay, so you're just saying
in the 4 years I made more money. In the 4 years that he was in term, I was able to buy a house, buy a car, make tons of money. 4 years Joe Biden's been in, I can't make shit.
So did Donald Trump cause the highest level of unemployment that we've had since the Great Depression because it happened under his presidency in April of 2020? Hatch, thank you for the hearts.
I don't believe so. I don't believe that he caused any of that, no.
So then how do we...
And I also think that a lot of the reason that you don't like Donald
mind if I
Trump...
speak real quick?
I think a lot of the reason you don't like Donald Trump is because of personal things. And if we didn't like people because of personal things, we wouldn't like you. Because we've seen messages of you being a racist and a piece of shit. So if we didn't like Donald Trump because of his past experiences, no one should like you, bro. You're a piece of shit.
The difference between me and Donald Trump is that I no longer engage in bigoted behavior. I've held myself accountable. I've changed as a person. I actively advocate for that same change in other people. Donald Trump has a track record of unapologetic racism since the 1970s. If you could show me one example of Donald Trump holding himself accountable or apologizing, I'll change my position right now, today. Young Dill's not coming back from that. We're going to get our next guest up in the box. Everyone do just give us a minute. Crash out on live, bro. Yeah, I will fucking change. Yeah, he left. Again, I really appreciate you for the love. W's for Lee Dog in the chat. Thank you for the bodyguard. All right, let's get our next guest up in here. I will change my position today on Donald Trump. I will change it all. All right. And the reason that I also confidently say that is because I know that he has never. I know that he will never. Antonio, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to shout you out and just be like, you're doing.
I appreciate you, Antonio. Let's get some W's for Antonio in the chat. I do appreciate you for coming up in here. And I do apologize for kicking you so quickly. However, we are just looking for debates, but that is very kind of you, man. Thank you, Antonio. All right, moving on to our next guest here, guys. Go back to spamming MAGA. Go back to spamming Trump in the chat. Do all that good shit if you do want to come up a debate. We're going to go and get our next guest up in here right now. If you do want to support me, my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all in the bio as well as in the link tree. 100% of those proceeds go straight to me. And Claire, thank you for the anarts. Hello, are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm voting for Kamala, and this is the first time I do this. I just wanted to tell you that I love what you do. You should consider doing.
Thank you so much, man. I do really appreciate you for the love, guys. Let's show the guys some love in the chat. Once again, guys, I would really appreciate it if you are in the queue. Make sure that you are voting for Trump, because I always feel so bad when I kick awesome people like that, like the last two guests out. Just show them some love, please do. But we are just looking for debates here today. What's up, Hope? Are you voting for Trump?
I am not. I would never vote for Trump. I love you. Respect the hell out of you.
Thank you so much, Hope. Guys, please. I love you guys so much, but like, dude. The Rogue, thank you for the little crowd. It's like, please just listen to me. I don't understand like why people don't listen to me. It's like you come up here and you say that you appreciate the content and you love it, but then you just kind of like disrespect that boundary. Like, I do love you guys and you guys are phenomenal, but please respect that boundary. Hi Danielle, are you voting for Trump? All right, he left. Moving on to our next guest. Let's get our next guest drop in the box. All right, no one is joining. Go back to spamming Trump and MAGA in the chat if you do want to come up and debate, you guys. It's refreshing to hear from them. I know, but we are just looking for debates. What's up, Lawton and Leah? Are you guys voting for Trump?
So sorry, internet was breaking out on me. So
are you driving?
No, bad area in Texas. It's a little storm going on here. But I wouldn't say I'm a little bit of a swing vote. That's okay. And I want to kind of debate a little bit of the topics I saw you on with Steiny and his sister doing that video, and yeah. I want to debate you a little bit, and it was on the fact that you said Donald Trump caused a lot of division in the United States.
I could hear the car moving, man. I was gonna believe you that it was just a storm, but I could hear the car moving. You could hear it in the background. We're gonna move on to our next guest, guys. Everyone, just give us a minute. Go back to spamming MAGA or Trump down below in the chat. So everyone do just give us a minute here, guys. Everyone just be patient while we're getting our next guest up in the box. I do apologize for you guys that this is taking a minute here to get our next debate going, and we will try to get that going as we speak. So everyone just do give us a minute here. What is up, Patty? Are you voting for Trump? Okay, Patty left. Guys, please, if you're going to hop in the queue, make sure that you're here to debate. I really don't understand why people hop in the queue just to leave. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But let's get our next guest up in here right now, guys. Spam Trump, spam MAGA down below if you do want to come up and debate. What's going on, Dasher? Are you voting for Trump? Like, what is that? Hello?
Yes, I am.
MAGA Mobile. Hi, are you voting for Trump?
Hello, how's your day been?
That's a fetus. Moving on to our next guest, guys. Make sure that you're at least 18 if you are in the queue, guys. We're just looking for debates here today. Moving on to our next guest. Spam Trump, spam MAGA down below if you want to come up, y'all. Hey, are you voting for Trump, Toast?
I'm not voting for Trump, but my whole family is.
Okay. Guys, it's really easy. It's really easy. I don't understand why people can't follow rules, guys. Moving on, guys, please. Go back to spamming MAGA in the chat if you want to come up and debate. We're going to get our next guest up in here right now. Everyone, just give us a minute. Spam MAGA in the chat if you do want to come up and debate, y'all. And do double tap away on that phone screen as well, guys. Do double tap away on that phone screen as well. We're going to get our next guest up in the box right now. We got Sammy loading in here, y'all. Hi, are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I'm 25.
All right. Why are you voting for Trump?
I mean, I like his policies and I like what he stands for, but I
Which
really
ones?
think that, well, really quick, I really think that the Democratic Party, they're so focused on everything that Trump is doing at the moment, where I think that if he becomes president in November, that you guys would all hold him accountable for every single little thing that he does, whereas on the opposing side, where if Harris became president, that everything would kind of just get swept under the carpet the same way that it always does for most politicians.
So why are you voting for Trump?
Voting for him because I like his policies.
Like which ones?
Tariffs,
You
immigration.
like tariffs?
Yep.
So tariffs are really bad, and the reason that they're really bad is they destroy American-owned businesses by plummeting exports, and they destroy American consumers by causing inflation.
So the reason that tariffs have been bad in the past in America is because they haven't been used properly, and a lot of American companies and a lot of manufacturing companies, auto companies, they will prosper if tariffs are used the right way.
No, when tariffs are intended to cause inflation, because that's how they promote a domestic production of goods, right? The way that a tariff is intended to function is to make the price of goods that are imported from other countries more expensive, aka by causing inflation, to further incentivize American consumers to buy from domestic companies. And when we'd have that increase in demand for domestically produced companies, we'd see an increase in domestic production. So yeah, when tariffs are introduced properly, they cause inflation. That's the whole purpose of them.
But the point is that when tariffs are implemented and when they're put into place, that it will be more difficult to purchase, other products from outside of the country, or it will be more expensive.
That's inflation. Thank you. Yeah, they cause inflation, right?
And
there's other ways that we could promote American manufacturing of goods without causing inflation, such as just raw investment into American manufacturers, right? Instead of like an unnecessary restriction on the market that creates inefficiencies, like negative consequences, such as inflation, we could just rawly invest into American producers that would incentivize them to produce to a higher level. That's what Biden and Harris did with the Chips and Science Act, and that's what Trump did with his farmers plan.
Do you think it's more important for Americans to use their money back to American people, or instead to give money to basically companies outside of our country?
I don't really care, but at the end of the day, what I have said here is that I agree with the sentiment of reindustrializing America and having our manufacturers produce to a higher degree, right? Which is like the sentiment of tariffs. But what I'm saying is that there's other ways that we could achieve that end goal that don't cause the inefficiencies that tariffs do, right? Such as inflation, right? And the other way to achieve that end goal that doesn't cause that same inefficiency would be investment in American manufacturers.
So why is it that no other politician has really implemented that or kept it consistent?
I mean, actually, the last two presidencies have, both Biden and Harris and Trump. Biden and Harris did it with the Chips and Science Act. They invested $25 billion into U.S. chip producers. In the next 6 years, we are going to be producing 20% of the global chip supply. When they implemented it, we were producing zero. Donald Trump did this with his American Farmers Act. He invested $28 billion into them, which was a bailout after he had destroyed them with his tariffs on China. So we know that investing into American companies works, and we know that investing into American companies spurs their manufacturing.
So do you think that when other countries, they have tariffs, do you think that that's okay?
No, I don't like any tariffs. Tariffs are bad. I might be able to agree with like some low levels of tariffs on China, but that's about it.
Okay. I respect that.
Right, so that's why tariffs are really bad. And like economists generally agree.
Yeah, it's an opinion. I think that they're good. You think that they're bad.
So why do you think that they're good?
I just told you why I think that they're good.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. With tariffs, if we have I don't know what the right word would be for it. If the tariffs are more aggressive, it would then in return make it more likely for people to be buying American-made products. And it would end up being cheaper than buying it outside of the country.
So that's actually not true. The reason that we import goods from other countries is because they're cheaper. Rachel, I appreciate you for the $10 on PayPal. W, Rachel's in the chat. I really appreciate you for the love, Rachel. Massive W, Rachel's in the chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Rachel. Like, the reason that we're so reliant on the importation of goods is because they cost less to create in other countries, due to like a lack of regulations for like labor laws, as well as just the creation of the product to do the environment. And then once again, you're just saying that tariffs are good because they'll put more of a focus on American manufacturing. I've already went over why that's a bad argument, because there's other ways that we could put a focus on American manufacturing that doesn't create the same inefficiencies and negative consequences that tariffs do. Like for instance, we'll think about it this way. What's a good analogy here? What's like a really good analogy here? You're really thirsty. And you need to quench your thirst. So you have 2 cups of water sitting in front of you. One cup of water is like clean, straight from the tap. You know it's fresh. And like the other cup of water is like from the fucking river, and it could have like some E. coli in it. All right. And like if you were really thirsty, you may drink the cup of water with E. coli in it. But given the fact that there's another cup of water that doesn't have those same negative consequences, you'd say it'd be a bad idea to drink the cup of water with E. coli in it, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, and now like replace the idea that we're really thirsty and we need to resolve that with water with the idea that we don't really have such of a focus on American manufacturing, and we need to resolve that with some incentive to refocus American manufacturing. And you have 2 cups of water in front of you. 1 cup of water, right, is going to be just raw investment into American manufacturers that doesn't create inefficiencies, doesn't cause inflation, and will renew American manufacturing. And the other cup of water with E. coli in it is going to be the tariffs that do achieve that same end goal, but also in the process create unnecessary inefficiencies such as inflation. Right? So we'd say here that it'd actually be bad to implement tariffs given the relevant alternative, right, that doesn't lead to the same inefficiencies.
So I think there's 2 ways to look at it. I don't completely disagree with you, but at the same time, the reason that it's cheaper to buy products from a country like China is because of their labor laws. So why would people want to support that? Like why is anybody saying, oh yeah, that's what we like. We'll take the cheaper product where they're forcing people to work for free, pretty much, or work for their housing and just the way that their country runs.
Well, I mean, remember, I don't disagree with the sentiment of refocusing American manufacturing. That was the whole point of my argument. We do agree. All right, we do agree. I'll repeat that for the last time. We agree. We need to be more focused on American manufacturing. Remember that. Remember, like you're making the argument that I just don't even care about American manufacturing. So this would be like, in the analogy I gave you, it's like you're really thirsty and you want to drink a cup of water. Then I'm like, no, keep being thirsty. Don't drink that cup of water. That's what you're stating. But what I'm stating, right, is that we are thirsty for American manufacturing. We do need to drink that metaphorical cup of water to renew American manufacturing, to create more products here at home in America. But there's other ways to do it apart from tariffs that are better. That's all. That's the argument.
Yeah. No, I could respect that, and I'll definitely do some more research on it and stuff, because I want to learn more about it, and I don't really know a whole bunch. This is just what I've read on it so far, and my take on it so far. It doesn't mean it's going to remain. You know, appreciate that.
Do you want to ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Why do you support someone that doesn't support you? Donald Trump has a vehemently vile track record in history of violence towards women, sexism, and misogyny, right? And we wouldn't be able to place a burden on him to effectively legislate for the thoughts, wants, needs, feelings, and desires of women and girls inside of the Oval Office because he's done anything but even care about them outside of the Oval Office. So why would you want to support someone that doesn't support you?
So I think that that's a wild question to ask, because as a woman, basically my entire life the system's always been against, and you do what you have to do. You work hard, and you know, if you bust your ass and you do what you need to do, you get to where you need to be.
But Donald Trump is proactively making that harder by perpetuating and upholding rape culture to a higher degree, causing more men to harm women because he's negating those social consequences that we should hold towards people like him that have raped women, people like him that have sexualized little girls, or people like him that is boasted about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls, or boasted about grabbing women by the P word without asking. Right? Donald Trump is also making it harder when he put 3 justices in the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade that has resulted in 1 out of 3 women of reproductive age here in America no longer having access to elective abortion, and 65,000 rape victims that got pregnant not being denied access to healthcare as a whole, right? So it's just about what is going to progress us in the better direction. Obviously, when we're talking about addressing these systemic issues that would impact women, or like even just a candidate who has a focus on women at all, right? Like Donald Trump is going to make it worse. Kamala Harris is going to make it better.
Yeah, so we've already had Trump as a president in 2016. He hasn't done anything that's impacted me negatively. I continue to bust my ass. I continue to go to school, go to work, all of the above.
Overturning Roe v. Wade didn't impact you negatively?
No, it didn't, because no, it didn't.
Okay, why not?
Because I think that statistically, if you look on CDC, that majority of, I know that there's rules against this, so help me out. What do I have to say here on TikTok?
You could say abortion.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay. On CDC, if you look up abortions yearly, they have like their yearly statistics about abortions, and I want to say it was over 55%. I don't know that exact percentage, but if you go on CDC, you could find it. And I believe this was for 2021. Over 55% of abortions were women who were absolutely just choosing to get an abortion. There was nothing medical related. There was not any
55%. I'd assume it to be closer to about like 96%.
So this is over 550,000 abortions. So over 55%. That's a large amount.
I'd say it's like over 90%. 90% of abortions are elective lethal abortions outside of rape, SA, incest, or medical reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but this is what the CDC said, so this is just a statistic that I had read up on.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is
what's wrong with a woman choosing to get an abortion?
I truly think, again, I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not to say on here, but I really do not agree with that. I think that...
Why not?
Because when you become sexually active with a person, it's supposed to be... You're not just supposed to do that with anybody, and that I don't care what anybody says. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Okay. So here's your issue. So the reason that you're pro-life, the reason that you want to like restrict women from being able to access abortion has nothing to do with the life or the value of the fetus, and all to do with the fact that you just want to punish women that are engaging in actions that you disagree with, and that's a big issue here. Right? No. Because like if I was to hold up like an ultrasound of a baby conceived of grape and a baby conceived because there's like 2 adults just going at it because they wanted to fuck, you want to be able to tell me a difference. But you're just saying that one is valuable, one isn't valuable because the intentions are the motivations in the mother. And that's a big issue, right? You should be pro-life, right? Because you want to respect life, the inherent human dignity and the clump of cells. But no, you're pro-life because you're pro-controlling women that are engaging in actions that you wouldn't personally engage in yourself, or maybe you would, but you'd just be hypocritical and not say it out loud. I've heard a lot of stories about how many pro-life women end up going into Planned Parenthoods. That's not the point. What is the point is that this proactively destroys the family unit by forcing unwanted children in unready households and shifting the family dynamic away from financially well-off adults that want to start a family and consent to raising kids, proactively decreasing the quality of the life for those kids, reducing levels of education, reducing levels of income, and as I already stated, reducing overall qualities of life. This is also forcing women to provide their bodily resources to a non-consenting third party for 9 months without their consent, and you really sit back and you say, I did something good for society. This is going to be great for the next generation of children. This is going to be great for these family units, and this is going to be absolutely phenomenal for women. Absolutely fucking not. Okay?
So
if anything, I am pro-choice because I care about life. You are pro-life because you want to control women.
Nope, that's not it. So I have a question for you. So were you brought
Tessa,
up?
thank you for the fireworks. I appreciate you so much for the love.
Were you brought up in an unprepared household or a prepared household? You personally?
50-50, I'd say. Probably at the start, they were pretty prepared. How about that?
Okay. I don't know. Okay, so they were prepared when you were a baby?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as somebody who was brought up in a unprepared household completely, I have 2 older siblings, and my parents are extremely young, and they did not have the means, they did not have the money, they did not have... Check off all the boxes for unprepared, because that was my family. That was my
Amanda,
life.
thank you so much for the gym gun. I appreciate you for the love, Amanda. Thank you so much. And Abby, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Abby.
But what was prepared is that my mother and my father both loved each other and love each other very much, and their love for one another, it didn't matter that they were unprepared. They did everything that they had to do to raise my siblings and I, and that's something that I think that a lot of people should respect. And I'm not just saying it because it's my family. I think when I see instances like that, there should be a higher regard and there should be more respect for 2 people who love each other doing what they have to do for their family.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, just real quick. What the fuck if they don't love each other? Like, what if you just see 2 18-year-olds banging on a Friday night at CU Boulder after they got drunk at a frat party? You know what I mean? But that aside, all right, even if they love each other and they're not ready to have children, they certainly shouldn't be forced to have children because Sammy disagrees with their actions. You're essentially saying here that they know the risks of engaging in intercourse, and if they choose to engage in intercourse, they consent and have an obligation to those risks if they're actualized. So let me ask you a question. Do you know anyone in your life that smokes?
Yep.
Okay, right. So cigarette smokers, they know the risks of smoking cigarettes. So if someone smokes a cigarette knowing the risk of lung cancer, gets lung cancer, should they be obligated to fucking deal with it just like the mother and the father? Or should they be able to go to the hospital, seek medical treatment to terminate the life of the lung cancer?
So medical treatment for lung cancer is not guaranteed, so this is not a very good... I lost my grandfather to lung cancer, and he did receive medical treatment, and it wasn't enough. So that's not a good analogy. My mother, however,
the analogy here is just if you think that they should have the option to seek treatment.
Yeah, to seek treatment, yes.
Oh, but they engaged in the action of smoking the cigarette knowing the consequence in which it would potentially run, and it did run it. So according to your logic with abortion, they should be obligated to it. Or what you could say here, right, is that the mother knew, right, the risks of engaging in intercourse, knew that it could cause her to get pregnant, just like the smoker, but she should still be allowed to seek health care after the fact, go to a doctor's office, and eradicate the clump of cells in her uterus. What's the difference?
The difference is you're calling it a clump of cells as if you weren't once a fetus.
I was once a fetus. I sure was.
You were. Like, how can you call that a clump of cells? Like, do you think that your life is important? Because
I think my life is important.
You were once a fetus.
I was once a fetus, and when I was a fetus, I was morally invaluable, and if my mother aborted me, she would be doing nothing wrong. See, the argument that abortion is wrong because if your mom aborted you, you wouldn't be here today is really bad when we consider a few other things. If my dad pulled out, I wouldn't be here today. So would it be wrong for my mom to withdraw consent to intercourse midway through?
Yeah, but your dad pulling out...
My dad wore a condom. I wouldn't be here today, so is wearing condoms wrong?
No, that's not true either. That's not 100% effective. Condoms are not 100% effective. But the point is that your dad pulling out... that's not the same as an abortion. It's really not, because you were created. It's the father plus the mother. You were created.
Father plus the mother.
Yes.
Okay. So you think that human life begins at conception and it's kind of murder to kill it after that, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. I do think that in instances of any forceful pregnancy, I guess you could call it. Like I said, I don't know the rules of TikToks. I know that there's rules. So I'm
say grape.
In instances of grape, in instances of incest, anything like that, I do 100% believe that there should be exceptions. I do believe so. But I don't think that people just being irresponsible and not taking accountability for their actions and taking away a life, I don't think...
Jaden, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love. Let's get some W Jadens down below in the chat. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much, Jaden. W Jadens down below in the chat. I really appreciate you for that. So now you're just back to punishing women. Once again, you're saying it's irresponsible. So if your argument is, once again, I will repeat it for the last time, you're starting to aggravate me slightly, but I will try to be patient. If your argument is that it is wrong for a woman to get an abortion because she engaged in active intercourse knowing the risk that it ran, and if she were to get pregnant, she should be obligated to deal with it. First of all, that's forcing unwanted children in unready households. It is decreasing the quality of life for the new generation. It is shifting the family dynamic from financially well-off adults to forcing 18, 20, and 19, 20-year-old boys and girls to become parents themselves. Not to mention that it would be logically incoherent because you wouldn't say the same thing for someone that is so irresponsibly smoking cigarettes and getting lung cancer. You still think they should be able to get medical treatment. And then on the second point of that terminating life, I don't think that terminating a human life on its own would classify murder. You don't think that a woman with an IUD is a murderer, even though that would in some cases terminate the life of a conceived zygote, which is logically identical to that of a fetus or a you and me or a brain dead patient. Overwhelmingly, you
never asked me about IUDs, and I don't agree with IUDs.
So do you think that women with IUDs are murderers because they kill conceived zygotes sometimes? And Brittany, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. W Brittany in the chat. Thank you so much.
I do not agree with IUDs, and you're saying that...
That's not the question I'm asking you, though. I'm asking you if they're murderers.
Yeah.
Wow. Should all murderers go to jail?
Yes.
So women with birth control, like IUDs, should go to jail?
You're saying... Or should all murderers go to jail?
So should women with IUDs that have engaged in intercourse and killed a conceived zygote go to jail?
I don't think that it should be something that's available.
Well, that's not what I asked you.
Well, that's fine. I don't agree with it.
Okay, you said all murderers should go to jail and women with IUDs are murderers. This would make the logical implication that women with IUDs should go to jail. Where is my logic failing?
No, that's fine. But what I'm saying is...
So women with IUDs should go to jail?
Sure. So...
Okay, you're insane.
All right. So you said that...
That's just crazy, right? Could you just admit that that's absurd? Can you just admit that that's absurd?
Yeah, it's absurd. So when you keep saying that a woman should just be forced to have this baby, an unwanted baby, and they should just be forced to have to deal with it. So that's the problem with our society. A baby, nobody should be looking at it that way of there's a baby and you just have to deal with it like it's a bad thing. Like, where are the family morals? How is it possible that this is where we've come to? Is the fact that when there's new life and that's supposed to be the most beautiful.
God, you understand that's because of pro-life legislation, dude. Like, so many families out there despise the fact that they have children. It makes them so fucking depressed. It drives some people to self-unaliving. Not all people want kids. That's a fact, either because they're just not personally interested in being parents, or because they don't have the same privilege you probably fucking do and can't pay for it and need to focus on themselves, their life, working, or getting a degree. And the fact that you're going to sit up here and say that it's such an issue that people don't want their kids after standing behind the Republican platform that stands against teaching kids in high school about sex ed, so people don't know how to engage in sex safely, stands against forms of contraceptives, birth controls, and IUDs. So even if they try to engage in intercourse safely, they still don't have any certainty in the fact that the woman will get pregnant. And then if the woman does get pregnant, you stand against allowing them to access healthcare so they could then terminate the life of the fetus and terminate the pregnancy. And then you want to fucking criticize them for not wanting to have a kid? Like, this is just such a bad fucking negative feedback loop. Like, okay, I want you to first say that we should be educated in our youth on what sex is, what it leads to, and how to engage in it sexually.
Absolutely.
And then advocate for policy and legislation reform to offer contraceptives to kids in high school and college to free, and offer free consultation for forms of birth control such as IUDs, the arm bars, or the pills for the woman. And we should invest in further innovation for birth control for men, and then legalize abortion and destigmatize it, because if a woman doesn't want to be pregnant and have a kid, then she should be able to go to Planned Parenthood and terminate the life of that fetus. And then maybe we could have the conversation about why are people still having kids that don't want them in this world, and then maybe we will finally be able to criticize people that don't put enough love, care, attention into their kids. Maybe.
Okay, so let's reel it back into the screen that's sitting behind you, which asks about Trump, because I could sit here and tell you all about what I believe, but at the end of the day, we're talking about Trump. So, Trump's stance on this is leave it up to the states. He's changed his mind on it, and he has said that he changed his mind on it, where he said that 6 weeks is not long enough, and then he said that in instances of rape, in instances of any negative instance like that, he said that there should be exceptions, and he agrees that he actually is not really on the Republican stance of this 100%, but he thinks that it should be left up to the states, where the states get to vote on it. And I think that he took that, in my opinion, I think he took that stance.
Devin, thank you so much for the $2 on PayPal. I appreciate you. W. Devin's in the chat.
In my opinion, I think that he took that stance because this has been the ongoing argument between the two political parties for decades, abortion. And I think he said leave it up to this.
Okay. All right. Hey, Sammy. So is like Robert E. Lee not pro-slavery because at the end of the day, his argument was just to leave it up to the states? Is a Confederacy not like racist and pro-slavery because at the end of the day, their argument was just to leave it up to the states?
But this is not the same case.
Claire, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love. No, it's just the idea of like a resolution between federal protections.
Somebody. She thinks she's gonna win.
So there's actually no fix for that glitch. What happened was another life glitched through her mic and started playing, so I just have to kick her and move on to the next guest. But anyways, the overall main point there was that there's just no relevant distinction, logically speaking. Robert E. Lee, right, which led who led the Confederacy, he personally didn't own any slaves, and when he gained ownership over his family's plantation, he released them. But of course, we'd still say that he's pro-slavery because he literally fought for the Confederacy so states could have the right to legalize it themselves. Right, and that would be the analogy here between him and Donald Trump. Hello, Gabriella. Are you voting for Trump?
Hello. Yes, I am.
All right. Why so?
I think a lot of different reasons. The first one being the border crisis.
Oh, do we have a crisis right now?
I do believe we do.
Have we ever had a crisis this bad?
No, I don't think we have. I think
yeah.
It's an issue that.
An unprecedented issue. So we actually have less border crossings today than what we had at the end of Trump's term. So we actually had the worst border crisis ever under Trump's term, I guess.
Okay. I
Nicole, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. W's for Nicole in the chat. If anyone watching does want to support me, my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal are all in the bio. And I apologize for cutting you off, Gabrielle. Go ahead.
It's okay. I've just seen a lot of different changes. Like, I'm from Long Island, New York, and what's up? What's wrong?
I
didn't choose where I was born.
Like people just saying that like people in like Long Island saying that they're single issue voter for like the southern border. But
my mom's from Argentina. Just to give a backstory, she lived there for 22 years. Came here with her family, legally, and I really love having different cultures around, and I think it's important that we keep on accepting different people from other places. I do see the right way to do it. Just because I'm scared about us not knowing who's coming over, I do think it takes way too long for people to become citizens legally. It's a long process, and I do think that needs to change. But I don't think like having open borders and like inviting everybody in free willy is going to end well for us, just because we don't know who's coming or what their agenda is all the time. And I know it's hard to do that it's hard to do that for everyone. But that was my main thing. But aside from that, you mentioned how Trump doesn't care about women. So I'd like to ask you to rephrase your stance on that and then give you my response, because I don't remember exactly what you said, but
yeah, I got you. So We'll get to the border after that. So yeah, I don't think that Trump cares about women because he's just demonstrated a lack of care for their thoughts, wants, needs, feelings, desires, opinions, like over the course of his life. Okay, all right. Like for instance, he's been ultimately liable for raping a woman. He sexualized a little girl. He said that he wanted to date a 10-year-old in 10 years. He literally boasted about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls to inspect them while they change. Same thing with like saying that he likes to grab a woman by the P word without asking first. I mean, he said that the best thing that could ever happen to a woman is pregnancy. It's just a very long, incessant track record of misogyny and ill treatment against women. Bravo, I appreciate you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. You are phenomenal. And also like to thank Elena for the $4 on Venmo over here. Elena says, thank you for standing up for our rights. I love you, Elena. And then about, you know what, go ahead. Just respond to that. Go ahead.
Is your name Dean or Parker?
Either works. Don't worry about it. Daniel, I appreciate you for the $11 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Daniel. Daniel says, as a fellow magician, nice moves. I'll have to show you more while we're doing the stream here. Let's get some.
So I see all the comments about like what you just talked about, and also I just wanted to take a moment to respect you for what you're doing. Even though we have different views, it's beautiful that we can have these open discussions. Right. But I think him as a person. Yeah, I agree. He's done some really pretty effed up things, and he said horrible things. But I think going to policy and like the lifestyle that he's encouraging, I think it's a, you know, people don't like to bring God into things. I recently just started going to church, so
you could say God.
Can I? I don't even know.
You could say God.
Okay. I recently started going to church, and I.
That's fine.
Yeah, someone just said character matters. It does. But, and he has really, I think JD Vance is a much better person for that character output. And I'm sure Trump is working on things, if he's even trying, I'm not sure. But anyways, I think that in regards to women and lifestyle, I think it's sad that we took a step away from traditional households, how men protect women. I heard you say it on that last podcast you were on with that girl that accidentally kind of said the wrong thing in the moment. But
here's my take about men protecting women. I think that we all have an obligation to protect those around us, and if one of us happens to be better able to physically protect another individual, it is what it is. But the predication on like what's in between your legs or what your gender identity is to set the precedent that this is prescriptively what you should do, now that is the step that I think.
There's nature's involved as well here, though, because men and women have different strengths, and I don't think that could be denied. You disagree with that?
Yeah, I don't think that we could generalize strengths. I think that we could come to relative truths. Like, Jade, I appreciate you so much for the $5 on PayPal.
I mean, it's no question that as time has gone on, especially in most recent years, that the testosterone levels have been dropping dramatically. And it's true. There are studies that show that
I have, yes. Okay, so let's just talk about traditionalism. So do you think that like men are better at leading than women?
No, absolutely not.
So then what do you agree with about traditionalism? Because that's like the main precedent set forth.
I think that a strong family and a strong nation, first of all, teaching starts in the home, and that needs to be more encouraged.
Are you Mormon?
No, I am not. Okay. I went to a Christian church recently. I didn't grow up in a religion.
Oh no.
I don't even know.
So the indoctrination has just started?
No. Listen, I have a good head on my shoulders here. I'm 24, so I still
did you just start going to church?
Yeah, recently. It was a choice that I made.
Yeah, Jesse, I appreciate you for the $1 on Venmo. You should read Leviticus 25 verses 44 through 46, 1 Samuel 15:3, and then like Genesis 1:29. You'll have some questions. Courtney, thank you for the $2 on PayPal. I appreciate you, Courtney. W's for Courtney in the chat. Thank you for the $2. But I'm still just confused on what your argument here is why you want to vote for Trump. Maybe you could clarify it for me.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry. I'm new to even caring about politics. I think it's privilege that I know it's privilege that I used to take a step back and I never really understood what was going on. But I want Trump because I want a stronger border. I want to revitalize work ethic. I think that the Democratic agenda is to, the handouts are cool and great, but I think that the opportunity to make opportunities is greater than like having a cut on my student loans or having a cut on childcare. Like every time you have a child, you get a $5,000 tax break. Like,
dude, that reduces childhood poverty.
Oh, but $5,000 is not a big amount of money when you have other ways to grow yourself.
Yeah, but the point of the child tax credit is to reduce childhood poverty.
Yeah, but we're putting the money into families. Okay, now you argue that people don't want to have families and have kids. A lot of these families, and I know some personally because I was a home teacher, they take this money and they don't give it towards the kids. They don't put it towards the kids.
We know it does.
I think we feel the same way towards each other right now.
Empirically
way.
speaking, when we increase the child tax credit, it does reduce childhood poverty. If what you're saying was true, that child tax credit is not put forth towards the children on the macro scale, we would not see that decrease in the childhood tax poverty. Sorry, in the childhood poverty. But you just don't. You're painting a really bad picture here. You don't see anything wrong with being against sex ed. Maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong. You don't see
against sex ed.
Yeah,
I think it's important. I think education is so important. I think the right education is important as well. That's another issue with the Democratic Party, with the things they put into the schools. We can get down that rabbit hole if you want, but I don't.
Yeah, let me just ask you a simple question. So, do you think that Trump's tax plan that he instituted in 2017 was good?
I'm uninformed.
Okay.
Well,
would you agree with spending $1.6 trillion on like a universal basic income and free housing, shelter, water, and food for all homeless people in America?
I would love for the homeless people there not to be any homeless. Is that what he is? Is that Kamala? Is that what she wants to do?
I mean, just out of curiosity. Well, earlier you said that you were like against handouts and the childhood tax credit. So I'm just like curious if you'd be against like spending $1.6 trillion on quote unquote handouts.
I wouldn't. I think that's a lot of money to put towards it, but I do think that some money should be allocated to helping our people from the U.S. of A who are on the streets. I think there should definitely be initiatives to get them off because it's dangerous out there. Like I'm scared to go to New York City.
Those are the initiatives.
It's scary. It's like I had somebody take their pants down in front of me and shit in front of me on the street, and drugged out. I think that these are issues that are going to keep on getting worse if we don't get more reform and we don't increase like opportunity for people at home and making, again, you talked about outsourcing material.
Yeah.
Like it's cheaper and it's, I think we just need to keep on bringing it back home now because America was great and it can be great again. But I don't know. It's just, it's scary to see that so much, it's scary to know that people don't see what direction we're headed in.
I'd love to add something in on here. First of all, Cassie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, and Natalie, thank you for the $1 on Venmo. Cassie and Natalie, I appreciate you both for the love. You guys are phenomenal. If anyone else does want to support me, my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, they are all in the bio as well as in the link tree. But anyways, to respond to what you've said here. So first of all, you say that you want to like help those in like the low and the middle class, right? You want to reduce the impact of things such as poverty, reduce the impact of things such as low income, reduce the impact of things such as homelessness. All right. And then earlier in the conversation.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then earlier in the conversation, you did say that you also want to give people more of an opportunity, right, to achieve a higher level of wealth for themselves and to build a better life. So here's the thing, though, right? Social safety nets, things like the child tax credit, things like Social Security, food stamps, etc., right? Those factor into giving people more opportunity to build a better foundation for themselves. And this isn't just like a theory or a hypothesis, okay? Right? Because this is actively implemented in Europe and it works phenomenally. So in Nordic countries like Swedish, that's crazy, like Finland and all the other Nordic countries, right? What we see is that they have really good social safety nets, right? They operate under what's called a social democracy, where they provide awesome benefits to all their citizens, right? And they have the highest level of economic mobility. And economic mobility is like basically the opportunity that you have to build more wealth and to scale yourself in the economy, right? So, I mean, if we really want to reduce the income inequity gap, if we really want to reduce the amount of people living below that poverty belt, if we really want to reduce the amount of homeless people on our streets, we have to reinvest back into the low and middle class. We need to reduce their tax burden, and we need to make life easier for those that is really hard on, especially people with kids. And then also a focus on our youth, right, through the childhood tax credit that reduces childhood poverty, through free education, right, which is something that we reference with like student loan forgiveness for college, and through things like free lunches at school for middle schoolers and high schoolers, right, that all factors in to making all American citizens better off, that all factors into granting all people higher level of economic mobility, reducing income inequities, and making the country as a whole like astronomically better.
Okay.
Like, I used to hold the same perspective as you. I did. I remember I used to be a Republican. I thought that like these social safety nets were handouts. I thought that they didn't really achieve any good end goal. I thought that the people were just going to be living off the government and giving them free money. But then I like realized that that's not really the case. And then I also realized that like the Republicans do the exact same thing, but just for rich people. So, you know, I'd rather the party that's giving the handouts to like the single mother of 3 living below the poverty line compared to like cutting taxes for Jeff Bezos so he could buy an extra yacht.
All right. Yeah, I am old enough to vote. I am 24. I look young. My genes are blessed. But anyways, I think there's also a big education like issue with understanding history and what actually happened and where we came from to where we are today. And I would encourage, I mean, nobody here who, I don't know if you know about Fox Nation, you know, Fox, that channel.
Yeah, I just ended someone's career that goes on Fox a lot. They probably won't be going on Fox again.
That girl, I don't think you ended her career per se. That questions that you throw sometimes have no sort of, they're very hypothetical. Was that the question about slavery?
So, just to clarify, she said that she'd be totally fine with the states legalizing.
I think if she could have went back in that moment and like, you know, was it live? Was it a live podcast?
Yeah, it was. You know, I saw a video on my For You page. Basically, someone was criticizing me for continuing to platform white supremacists. A, I had no fucking clue she was a white supremacist walking into it. I'd agree with the critique if I knew. But then B, like, you're kind of justifying their point because something that they brought up in the video is that, you know, like a lot of people won't really see them as canceled. A lot of people in the video will like continue to support them. It may even grow a larger audience. Right. And you're kind of proving that. Like, don't you think that someone that says slavery is good and that they wouldn't be apologetic of someone unalive themselves and that she's totally fine with Nazis and shit, like they should have their career ended.
Yeah, but
right?
she did go back on it, and she said, and she was flustered, and she said, like, how could I even answer that sort of question? Like, slavery's not going to come back. That's not, and it's not an option. So I think you're really good at asking questions that kind of corner people into not knowing what the heck to say because it's just so out of left field. And like like what? Like, how are you supposed to answer that in the moment? She said,
you're supposed to say no.
Yeah, no, I know. You're supposed to say no. I know. I think that she doesn't represent everyone on the right side, and neither do you. You don't represent everyone on the left side. So again, it's amazing that you're very well spoken. First of all, I hope to be like that one day. I'm working on it. I just started my own live show, not about politics or anything, but it's a skill that you have that I'm obviously working on because they say people are telling me I can't talk, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I just want Trump still. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Why? Like, why? Sum it up. Make it easy. Why Trump over Harris? Wait, before I do, I want to thank a couple people here. Riley, thank you for the $3 on Venmo saying proud of you, Parker. I appreciate you, Riley. Show some love to Riley in the chat. Oscar, thank you for the $11 and the 11 cents on Venmo saying I get so scared knowing people defecate. Thank you for the $11, Oscar. You're funny. And then Innocent, thank you for the $1 on Venmo. You're phenomenal. Let's see if we got anything here on PayPal. Just give me a minute. If you do want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio. I appreciate you guys so much for the love here. Courtney, thank you for the $2. Kia with a 50 cents and Jada with a $5. Thank you so much for the love. So sum it up in a sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences or less. Why should we vote for Trump?
We should vote for Trump because he will restore the American dream and passion and sorry, what was that a flag? He will
American dream.
The American dream. Yeah, I think that his ideologies are really kind of what America was built upon.
Like what?
Just like traditions that have gone away due to the Democratic agenda.
Give me like
I said it before, like the traditional, like just like feminism. I think it's great. I'm not a feminist by any sense of the word, but like women power, great, work, good. But why are women being shamed for wanting to stay home and raise kids and And
No. Okay, so first of all, if feminism didn't exist, you wouldn't be here on this live today. 100 years ago, women couldn't work a job, women couldn't own property, women couldn't start a bank account, women couldn't legally vote, women couldn't report rape and marriage. Like, all those things were changed because of feminism. First of all, then secondly, literally is like no one is going to shame you, right, for wanting to exist in a particular like relationship dynamic that would be more typical that of traditionalism. Right? The issue that feminism has with traditionalism is the fact that that's set as the norm, or more so a precedent that should be the case for everyone. And if someone disagrees with traditionalism or doesn't apply it in the context of their own relationship, they are doing something wrong. And then the harm that this norm causes by telling men that they're supposed to do certain things, telling women that they're supposed to do other things, and the negative consequences that those have on society, such as stigmatizations for women to go into certain work fields, such as STEM-related fields, stigmatizations for women to exist in particular leadership, or even stigmatizations that would denote that men are smarter, more intelligent, better at leading, or more capable than women on multiple fronts. And like that is the
I don't think men are more capable than women in general, but I definitely think Trump is way more capable than Kamala. And I think you should maybe be running in place of her. Maybe give her a call because you're way more better at explaining things and ideas, and definitely learned a lot. But like, why can't Kamala go on anything and explain any of her thoughts in full?
Okay, first of all, Alita, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. That is EIDELA. Thank you so much for the $20. Let's make sure that we show some love to Alita in the chat. Alita says, keep coming with the facts. Thank you for speaking up for us women. I appreciate you so much. W's for Alita in the chat. And Raina, thank you so much for the $3. I respect you, Element. Thank you, Browboy777. Stella, thank you for the $1 saying that I slay. Nadia, thank you so much for the $5 saying just screamed you at her. I want Trump schooler. I appreciate you for the $5. So now getting back to what we were saying, what did you ask? Oh, you asked about Kamala Harris. I'd actually say that she's much more capable than Trump. Did you watch the debate?
I did.
Yeah, she schooled him.
Yeah,
she schooled him. Then he wouldn't go back for a second debate. And then like thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you for the love. Then like like the tradition is for both of the presidential candidates to go on 60 minutes. Trump actually refused to do that, but then she still did. She's much more capable than Donald Trump. Much more intelligent. Much more charismatic. Much more.
Charismatic is like irrelevant. We don't need someone who's charismatic to run the nation the right way. I don't think.
We do because I think that. We should have virtues reflected in our leader that we would also want reflected in us. Okay, like at the end of the day, right? The president is supposed to be someone that we want to look up to. The president is supposed to be someone that is concerned of public service, not self-service. And there's going to be virtues that are necessary to serve in that position correctly. One of those virtues is going to be a lack of a care for self and a care for others over yourself, right? Not being narcissistic and having care for those around you, right? Because if you don't care about your constituents, then how can you like justify the claim that they'd effectively legislate for them compared to like self-interests, right?
I
feel like that's the biggest issue.
Trump is a very caring guy.
If he was a caring guy, then he wouldn't have raped a woman.
Were those? I don't know. Was that proven?
Yeah. They were proven in court. Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, we're going to have to agree to disagree at the end of this. I don't know if you want to ask me anything more specific. People are saying I can't speak, but you're right. My first language is Spanish. And now I speak like my mom half the time when broken. I don't know. Sometimes I find myself just saying things the wrong way. But I will be voting for Trump. And if you guys want to check out this show on Fox Nation, you should.
Sorry, Gabrielle, I had to cut your mic there. I put you on mute. You can't speak. No self-promos here. I appreciate you for coming up. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming up. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what Everett has to say. Jonathan, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo saying, what up, Dean? Just want to let you know you inspire someone. I'm going to go and read off the rest of that message while we get our next guest up in here, guys. For the 8,000 people in here, it's good to see you all. Welcome in. Let's see what Jonathan says. Let's go and reload that Venmo. Everyone just give us a minute here. Jonathan, thank you for the $5. Says, what up, Dean? Just want to let you know you inspire someone who's even the same age as you. You do a great job, brother. Love your content. Thank you, Jonathan. W's for Jonathan. Jay Lynn, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying W debates. Cameron, thank you for the $5 on Venmo saying slain. And Lindsay, thank you for the $5 saying tolerating internalized misogyny. Oh boy. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for the love. What's up, Corvette Lover? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and see if you're a fetus. C5, C6, C7, or C8.
C5.
Okay, you are a fetus. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. Let's go to get Sarah up in the box. Everyone just give us a minute here. All right, for the 8.1 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. What's up, Sarah? Are you voting for Trump? Okay, go back to spamming Trump down below in that chat. We're going to go to get our next guest up in here. Oh, wait, huh? Oh, those are like the models of the Corvettes. And of course, a fetus would say the oldest one. Hello, Giovanni. Are you voting for Trump?
I am, yes.
All right. Why would you ever do that?
Because I think that I need to, unfortunately, bypass the severe character flaws within him, because I see that the border crisis.
Oh, and we have a border crisis right now?
Yeah. So I know you're going to say like we're in a crisis. Wouldn't you argue that my interpretation of a crisis and yours is subjective?
Well, I'm just operating off of your subjective interpretation of a crisis. So do we have a crisis today?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and seemingly why is Trump your guy? Because we have less crossings now than we had at the end of Trump's term. So he seemingly had a worse crisis unresolved at the end of his term.
Yeah, well, see, that's just a lie. We don't
RTP, I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you for the red W's for RTP in the chat. It is true, after Biden's executive order, crossings have declined by about 65%, putting us at lower levels now than we had at the end of Trump's term, which is balancing out right around 21 through 2,200 crossings per day. And this is going to be sourced from the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Agency, the same source that Trump used to justify his graph that he had at the rally that he got shot at behind him. And hello, RTP. I hope that you're doing well.
How many crossings a day?
It's like, what, 21, 2,200?
All right, so let's say it was 2,200. 2,200 times 30 is what, like 66,000 a month? 66,000.
So many.
Yeah, times 12 is 800,000 crossings.
The encounters, just saying.
What's that?
It's encounters.
Okay, encounters. Well, wait. Well, let's be clear. You're using like there's going to be semantics here. When you're saying encounters, what I'm referring to is solely the crossings. Can you give me the number for crossings, please?
I don't know if they report on crossings, like they probably do, but like the point is that there's
the point is you're wrong. You can go to the Washington Post right now and see that Trump consecutively over his 4 years had a total of 2.4 million crossings.
Okay, the reason why you think I'm wrong is because you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have less crossings today, right, than we had at the end of Trump's term in December and January of 2020 and 2021.
All right. Well, also your piano skills are very good.
They are good or aren't good?
They're very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And the magic. But hey, listen. Okay, so let me ask you this, so we can be clear. When Trump took office, okay, we have the crossings over his 4 years consecutively at around 2.2 million crossings.
Yeah, much less than Biden and Harris.
Right. When Biden took office, his first year, it surpassed all 4 of his years consecutively.
Millions and millions and millions.
Wait, dude, don't mock. Okay, listen. His first year, it surpassed his 4 years.
So many millions. Yeah.
Wait. Why aren't you acknowledging that?
No, I'm saying you're right. I mean, I am acknowledging.
Okay. So what you're saying is that it's on an all-time low, but the all-time low still surpasses Trump's all-time high.
Okay, I lost you with that last sentence. I don't understand what that meant, but here's what I'll say. So my argument was that we have less crossings after Biden's executive order than we had at the end of Trump's term. So if you think that we have a crisis right now and you classify a crisis on the basis of encounters or crossings, then you'd also make the implication that we actually had a worse crisis at the end of Trump's term. Right? Another point that could be made here is that you're absolutely right. We have more crossings over a southern border under Biden and Harris than we ever had under Trump. And the reason that is because of
COVID-19,
of Title 42 and COVID-19. Yeah,
Okay.
we had people backed up at our border for a year and a half with Title 42, not allowing them to come in, and inflation onset in southern Latin American countries, incentivizing people to migrate into our country. So when Title 42 uplifted, right, we had a very natural, normal, and expected influx of people coming into our country, and we should be evaluating the efficacy and responsibility of our current administration based upon their response to that crisis, based upon their response to that influx. Now, what was their response? Their response was to advocate and influence bipartisan border legislation through the House and through the Senate to resolve the crisis.
And Trump shot it down.
And Trump shot it down.
And Dean, there's a difference. There's a key difference between myself.
Thank you for the $2 on PayPal. I appreciate you.
And I think the key difference is going to be is that I can denounce the behavior of the person I support. You cannot.
Well, I can.
So I denounce the behavior in this aspect. What I will say is this then is like, let me ask you this question.
Why did you just throw like the random straight at me saying that I can't denounce the bad behavior of our current administration?
Okay, so I've personally never really heard you actually denounce something of the current administration.
Kamala didn't really answer questions that well at her interview on Fox News, and I don't support their funding for Israel. It's super bad. We should have had a conditional allyship with him since the 50s. What else do you want me to do here?
Okay, fine. So,
like Biden ran on like certain wealth taxes in 2020 that he never implemented. I wish that he would have.
Okay, so allow me to give you. Let me ask you this question then. Is it inhumane to put barbed wire fencing around the in front of the border?
It depends. Sometimes yeah, sometimes no. But like,
okay, so
sometimes absolutely.
So when Texas had people pouring in, or we won't use the word pouring, walking over, and Texas put up a barbed wire fence to try and stop it. And the Biden-Harris administration said, take that down. It's inhumane. It's a violation of human rights. Let me ask you a question. Is it also a violation of human rights to put barbed wire around a prison cell? Okay, so first of all, you're just misinterpreting, right? Specifically, like why they told them to take down their border provisions, and then second, I know why they said it was. They said it was human rights violation. No. If all the migrants trying to come into our country were literal fucking criminals that were supposed to be in jail, maybe it wouldn't be inhumane. But you have to make that conflation to justify the point. Let me ask. The reason why Let me ask you that. Wait. No, because I'm trying to address. Okay, no. What you're not going to do is you're not going to cut me off while I'm addressing your misinformation. The misinformation that I'm addressing is the reason why the federal government told them to take it down. The reason why the federal government told them to take down the border provisions that they put up illegally was because they were bypassing our federal government, right? And just due to the conflict of states' rights and federal rights per the U.S. Constitution, that was just against our Constitution and against federal law. Okay, cool. Dean, if you had a friend, they got out of jail, they were in jail for writing a bad check for fraud, and you had a stranger at your front door, who do you let in? Your friend that just got out of jail for writing a bad check, or the stranger you've never met in your entire life? Both are men. Oh, I let in my friend. Why do you let the friend why do you let him in for? Because he's my friend. I'd let my friends into my house. Let's say he wasn't your friend, but you knew everything about him and you knew that he was in prison for a bad check, and you have a stranger you don't know nothing about at all. Who do you let in? The person who wrote the bad check, or the complete stranger you know nothing about whatsoever? So two strangers. You have to pick one. Two strangers, one with a criminal history, one without a criminal history. Well, the one without. No. You have two strangers. One you know everything about. The other you do not. You know that the one guy has written a bad check. That's the worst he's done. He was in prison for that. The other person. Holly, thank you so much for the $13 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Holly. Let's get some W's for Holly in the chat. I really appreciate you for the $13. Massive W's for Holly down below. That is so. So again, Dean, option A, you have. Again, option A, you have full disclosure. You know everything about the individual. The worst thing they've done is they've written a bad check. Full disclosure, guy. So option B, the person is a complete stranger. You know nothing about them whatsoever. You know option A, what they've done. Who do you let into your home? I'd let in the one with full disclosure because I know what to expect. Okay. So then why are you comparing people in a jail, they're doing something bad, to people crossing over the border and walking in as not a crisis? What, bro? What? You're saying that the people that are crossing over, you're saying they're not criminals, but I would argue the people we know nothing about are far more dangerous than the people we know things about. Let me ask you it this way. Would you rather let a fool... So then you'd agree that we should... Dean, would you rather let a fool... I can't respond? No, Dean, would you rather let a full minimum security prison, which means the worst crime they can do is minimum security. It means that the worst thing they've done is nonviolent crimes. Maybe they've written bad checks, things like that. Would you rather have 1,000 inmates released into the streets or 1,000 strangers from another country walk over the border into our country? Oh, definitely like 1,000 strangers from other countries walking ours. Wait. You'd rather have 1,000 strangers than 1,000 minimum security inmates, meaning they've committed no violent crimes. It's all been minor offenses, like traffic violations, maybe an OU, maybe like a writing a bad check. No, you're being disingenuous and you're arguing in bad faith, Dean. Bro, what? Because you would not choose 1,000 strangers over 1,000 people. You know, the worst they've done is written a bad check or something like that. Nobody would pick that. The same reason you just said you wouldn't let the stranger in your house. You let the person who you know that about in your home. But now when I scale it up, you pick the strangers. Why? Okay, right. So once again, your analogy in the first place was about the house. The analogy in the second place was roaming the streets. So let's go ahead and clarify this, right? Of course, the border is the border in this analogy is the door. No. The border is the door. United States is the house in this analogy. Okay, so you think that United States is a house. So then you think no. I'm giving you an analogy. You know what an analogy is, Dean? Come on. Okay. Well, I would like it if you'd let me finish. Sure, go ahead. I think you need to calm down a little bit, buddy. So you're not remaining consistent. You're inconsistent, dude.
Okay, Giovanni, I am remaining consistent if you just allow me to finish. So in one analogy, you had referenced my literal house. Of course, I'd rather have someone come into my house that I know more about compared to someone that I don't. In fact, I would probably take someone with a violent prior offense if I knew more about them compared to a random stranger because I'd still know what to expect. But then your second analogy had to do with them being released into the streets. Yes, I would 110% rather people that I know nothing about being released into the streets compared to 1,000 people that I know some things about, that being that they've been convicted of some like small petty offense or crime. Okay, right? And like, I mean, this is not disingenuous. This is not wrong. Like, if you were a movie director and you needed 1,000 extras for a film, like, and you're offered like two groups of people that you could hire. One group of people is just like random U.S. citizens, and then the second group of people is everyone in a minimum security prison. Who the fuck are you going to hire?
I understand, Dean, what you're saying, but can I explain to you why this isn't actually following? Because the 1,000 people that are released, you know that they did petty crimes.
Samantha, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo.
The 1,000 people entering the country. Let me ask you a question. If one of those 1,000 was a serial unaliver, what if it was? What is worse, one serial unaliver or 1,000 petty theft charges?
Like, I don't know. I feel like it could go like other way. Like,
oh, come on, Dean. Dude, the answer is the serial unaliver is worse.
So we should be vetting at our borders, right? That's why we should increase, decrease the time that the asylum-seeking claims take, increase the amount of money that we're pouring into Border Patrol, and increase the amount of money that we're pouring into the courts to expedite asylum-seeking claims. Because when we're able to make the legal systems and legal entries into our country expedited, we disincentivize undocumented migration into our country, and this is exactly what the border bill did. Like, the reason that I've let this kind of play out, and I've just kind of let you run your mouth, is because I didn't tell you this, but I think that undocumented migration into our country is not optimal, and we need to first resolve the legal means into our country, right? So then we can further disincentivize undocumented entry into our country, and given a perfect border with perfect legal means of entry into our country, I want to be fine prosecuting down harder on undocumented entry into our country. But that is not the pragmatic reality in which we exist in today, right? Like, the Republican platform for the last 25 years has done nothing to resolve the qualms that exist with the legal means into our country, and they've only radicalized Republicans and prejudiced old white men into thinking that undocumented migrants are the worst, right? So they could get their vote, but they're not actually about effective solutions. What the bipartisan border bill was. The bipartisan border bill was going to decrease the amount of time that it comes to take into our country through asylum-seeking processes from 7 to 8 years to 7 to 8 months. It was going to increase the amount of funding that we give to Border Patrol on the border, so we could crack down harder on people human trafficking or drug trafficking, and further disincentivize people to enter into our country through undocumented means by increasing the incentivization through them to enter through documented means. But what did Trump do? He fucking turned around and torpedoed that bill because he wanted the crisis to continue. He wanted, as you point out, the serial killer and the criminals to continue to come into our country and terrorize it according to his worldview, just so it could increase his chance of getting the prejudiced white man's vote in come November, right? So every single thing you just said to me could be turned around and back again and applied again to Donald Trump, because he's the one advocating for more undocumented migration into our country and actively shooting down legislation that would allow us to better vet the individuals coming in through legal ports of entry.
Yeah. So in regards to that, okay, so I already have mentioned to you that I denounced the behavior of him shooting down, torpedoing the bill. Okay. So, but the issue we have here is that, see, you rely on a Hail Mary, and your Hail Mary is that, like, when I say to you that there was higher numbers under the Harris and Biden as compared to Trump, you say it's because of solely COVID-19. Okay. Yes. I'm telling you that what we know is we do know for a fact that under Trump, the numbers were actually 8 times lower than they are now. You're relying on the Hail Mary that COVID-19 is responsible, as I noticed that you do with a lot of other things.
It's not a Hail Mary.
It's a Hail Mary for you, because you have to say, you have to have an answer. And you say that, for example,
explain to you why that's not.
For example, I don't have time to get into too many different.
Yeah, you don't have time for me to dunk on you to prove that that's not a Hail Mary. Dean, that's just objective fact.
Dean, what we know is that we know that under Trump, it was 8 times less. It was occurring 8 times less. So.
Okay, so
you're telling me.
I mean, if you just want to use the argument that like it was true under Trump, not true under Biden and Harris, well, can I say that I'm never going to fucking vote for Trump because he lost 15 million jobs from the economy under his term? We experienced the highest level of unemployment that we've had in our country since the Great Depression at 14.8% in April of 2020. And under Biden and Harris, we've had consistent 50-year low levels of unemployment at 3.4%, and they've added near 20 million jobs back to the economy, all just because it happened in the country under their presidency.
Again, Dean, I've already stated to you that there is pros and cons to both, okay?
No. Can I blame Trump for that high level of unemployment just because it happened under his term?
Oh, absolutely. If he was the president, then it would necessarily follow that you would have to.
Oh,
listen
so
to me.
and then I could also blame Trump for the net negative loss in jobs. He's one of the only two presidents that has ever served that has ever served our country that has resulted in a negative net loss in jobs. So Donald Trump caused the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression, and he's one of the only two U.S. presidents to ever leave office with a negative net loss in jobs, sir. And he caused both of those things. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that he's good for our country, that he's good for the economy. You know, something else that happened in the country under his term was COVID that resulted in over 500 million deaths worldwide. And you know what? Quite frankly, using your logic, because it happened in the country under his presidency, Donald Trump caused COVID. He's a ruthless genocidal maniac that caused COVID that directly resulted in the losses of over 500 million people in the world.
You
want to vote for someone that directly caused the deaths of 500 million people, sir? You sick fuck.
Okay, Dean, are you done with the monologue? Okay, now listen. So, what I'm saying to you is that there's external and internal causes for things when people are president. COVID was an external thing that he couldn't control. There's things he can control. If there's things, like Dean, if there's things that happen under his presidency, first of all, you're the one. Listen, to be clear, you are the one that has pivoted off in a whole different direction.
No. Let's bring it back. I'll bring it back myself. So you're saying
will you at least admit that you went off on a red herring completely?
No, because a red herring would be something that is not conceptually relevant to prove a point. And I could, like, you just proved my conceptually relevant point. You just said that there's external variables that impacted the country that Trump couldn't control, such as COVID, and that influenced things such as the highest level of unemployment in our country since the Great Depression under his term. When just prior to that, on the subject of the southern border, you were saying that I was being illogical and throwing a Hail fucking Mary when I did the same thing about the border. See what I mean? All of a sudden, you are so fucking rational and you use all, like, your 3 brain cells when we're talking about Donald Trump, his presidency, and what could have
and now you resort to the
but then all of a sudden
you resort to ad homs.
What's an ad hom?
Now you resort to ad homs. So who's losing?
What's an ad hom?
An ad hom is an insult instead of focusing on the argument. You just said I have 3 brain cells.
Actually, no. So an ad hom is going to be when I insult your character in an attempt to critique your position. I was just insulting your character, buddy. What I'm going to critique your position with is a direct contradiction, which you just spoke out loud to us all when you said that I was giving an unfair, illogical Hail Mary. When I would reference COVID-19 and Title 42 as a cause of the border crisis under our term. But meanwhile, under Trump, that's an external variable that can explain things such as the highest level of unemployment in our country in the near last 100 years.
Hey, Dean, I'm not on my computer, but I'm pretty sure the textbook of what an ad hom is it's a fallacy that involves attacking a person making an argument instead of the argument itself.
No. An ad hom is when you attack someone's character to diminish their argument. So if I said you're dumb, therefore you're wrong, that's an ad hom. I just said that you're dumb.
Okay, and I have 3 brain cells because I made a point, and you come at me saying that. When have I insulted you?
By voting for Trump. How about that? Insulted me and the other 7.7 thousand people in this life. How about that?
See, the problem here is that you think that people can't. Let me ask you the question: what about to the voter that is genuinely? You think that a person can bypass character if they really feel that like there is a threat to the country and go just for like what they think is best for the country? Or do you think that it necessarily follows that if somebody votes for someone like Trump who's done some horrendous things, they support those things?
Yeah, like you're okay with racism, you're okay with
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, do you think it necessarily follows that if a person votes for Trump, they are 100 automatically % they support rape culture?
Yeah, the impact of your actions. That's what it would prelude to. Absolutely.
Okay, so to be clear, every person that votes for Trump supports grape culture. They are also racist. What?
They're okay with grape culture. Not all Trump supporters are racist, but they're okay with racism.
And so a person can't bypass the character because they're actually afraid for the country.
And
it just means they support those things. Because I've watched what you're doing here. I've watched what you do. You'll demonize. You'll demonize an individual.
Can you tell me like one Paul? Okay. Well, first of all, you accused me about 5 minutes ago of going off on a red herring tangent because I was wrapping in a conceptually relevant point. Then I brought it back home and I made the point. And after I made the point, you discovered that you couldn't respond to it. So now you're just like fucking crying like I'm your therapist.
Oh my God, dude. I'm not crying to you. I'm saying to you is that I'm just mentioning that I noticed that you demonize individuals by saying that anybody that votes for Trump, the first words out of your mouth is that individual is a racist and all these things. And dude, here's the worst part.
Giovanni, I'm going to go ahead and say it for like the 3rd and final time.
You were just canceled for these things.
Hey, Giovanni, I'll go ahead and say it for the 3rd and final time. Not all Trump supporters are racist. All Trump supporters are okay with racism. And thank you so much for the fireworks. And canceled by who?
I don't know exactly. I've just seen that you were canceled for something for saying things. But listen, here's the thing. What?
Canceled by who?
I'm not quite sure.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I mean, when I use the word cancel, I mean like there is basically a large, basically amount of people that are now against
Maureen, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, contributing to the Kleenex Fund for Geo. I appreciate you for the $10. Thank you so much. Let's get some W's for Geo in the comment section. Thank you.
No.
Not for Geo. L's for Geo. Let's get some W's for Maureen with the $10. I really appreciate that. So a large amount of people that now stand against me that didn't prior. Like who?
Well, I mean, there's also things that were posted by you that I don't want to say in your live. I'm sure you've seen, but those aren't as popular. Like, dude, come on, man. It's like you're making.
Yeah, let's talk about it. How come a 20-year-old?
I don't want to mention those things in your live.
How come a 20-year-old white boy on TikTok can hold himself to a higher level of accountability for the dude that you're voting for the presidency of the United States? I use slurs in my past. I engaged in bigotry. I engaged in racism. I engaged in homophobia. I held myself accountable. I became a better person. Then I started these lives to share that same education with other people. Give me one instance of Donald Trump holding himself accountable for any single racist thing that he's done in his past, like denying housing applications to black people because of the color of their skin, saying that Barack Obama wasn't born in our country, thereby he shouldn't be able to run for president, calling for the death penalty for the exonerated Central Park Five, saying that all black people are lazy, saying that migrants are poisoning the blood of our country, calling the Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio illegal, even though they're here through legal purposes, lying about the fact that they're eating cats and dogs, listening to J.D. Vance admit that was made up on Fox News, and then now they have civil litigation held against them by nonprofits in Springfield, Ohio for an increase in hate crimes. Give me like one example of Donald Trump apologizing for any of those things. Or maybe like just apologizing for raping a woman, apologizing for walking to the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls, holding himself accountable for hitting on a 10-year-old or saying that he dated his daughter if he wasn't his daughter. Give me one instance of Donald Trump manning up just like I did and holding himself accountable for the bad things that he's done in his past. Or am I literally, right, a more abled person in the sense that I, right, have more of a sense to hold myself accountable for my bad past and change as a person to make those around me better than your fucking nominee for president?
It's insane. It's insane. See, like, dude, like here's the thing, okay? Is that like? Let me answer your question. Let me answer what you just asked first, okay? In regards to if he's made any public apologies for these things, I have no idea. Okay.
He hasn't.
Okay, so in regards to that, I have no idea, dude. The difference between me and you is I see you, the person,
on PayPal. I appreciate you.
The person, see, here's the thing about Dean, the person you demonize, okay, myself, okay. The difference between me and you is that
you feel demonized, bro? You feel demonized because I said you have 3 brain cells?
I actually show respect for you. You lack the ability to show respect for anybody else. Because someone like myself, tell me what I've said to you offensively. I thought we were having respectful dialogue. You insult me. I told you you're good at piano, like all these things, dude, and you decided to turn to ad homs, insult the person,
I just want to
bring them down.
So your issue is that I said you have 3 brain cells, right?
No. I'm saying, dude, the issue is that you're proving yourself that literally we were having a respectful conversation and you got triggered.
Okay, so now you're accusing me
because you came for my intelligence. You came for my intelligence in the middle of respectful dialogue.
So first of all, if it was respectful dialogue, then I wouldn't have said that you have 3 brain cells.
Tell me what I said. Tell me what I said disrespectfully to you.
One moment. The reason I said that you have 3 brain cells is because you do, not because I'm triggered. Third of all,
wait. So why do I have 3 brain cells, Dean?
Yeah, because you've come up here and incessantly repeated the same bad arguments, and when I've given you sufficient rebuttals, you've either ignored them or just pivoted to another subject. And when I've brought up good points to conceptually demonstrate things that are relevant to our conversation in the realm of abstractness, you don't listen to me, and you just rather say that they're fucking red herrings without being able to define what a red herring is. And you accuse me of...
I told you what a red herring is.
No, you accuse me of serving an ad hom against you. I've been very politely correct you on the basis that wasn't an ad hom, and I defined to you what an ad hom was. Then you're just like, you're wrong and I'm right. And then all through this, right, you pivot away from the conversation, and then
I think at the end of the fine, Dean.
And then you pivot away from the conversation, and you start talking about how like you need me to be your therapist for 30 minutes while you cry and whine on live, right? Like 10 minutes after you're accusing me of pivoting. Like all of this is just to detract from like the substance of our conversation because you can't deal with the substance of the conversation. And
no, because I felt the conversation.
This disingenuous, bad faith manner of debating, of completely detracting away from the substance of the conversation that we're having about the southern border, just to like whine and crying on live until you inevitably get kicked because you know I'll get fed up with you for not talking to me about the substance of these conversations. After telling me that I was being disingenuous and after telling me that I was being pivoting, right, is probably conveyant of like a low level of intelligence. Sky is blue, the sun is warm. Giovanni needs to step up his game and read a damn book. It's also just quite annoying. You know? And like the whole like triggered thing. Like, God, Like it was like the whole like Republican red pill movement from like 20. Okay, like, go on pause. You have an echo. It was like the whole like it was like the whole like Republican red pill movement from like 2005 to like 2016 to be like liberals are like triggered snowflakes, and now it's like y'all try to grasp for straws to find anything to justify that. Like I'm triggered because I said that you have 3 brain cells, but Donald Trump is a really emotionally sound man, even though he made fun of disabled reporters, literally slurred Kamala Harris, and tried to coup our country and steal the election from Biden in 2020.
Well, for clarification, since I mean, like, you want to just like, you know, obviously mute the opposition. What we can do is
you because you had an echo, bro. Chill.
Okay, sure. So, Dean, the reason why I addressed the comments towards me is because we were actually having a productive dialogue, and then out of nowhere, what's that?
Do you want to get back to it?
I think we're gonna leave it at that, Dean. I think.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
Well,
you don't.
I think it's kind of pointless. I said, listen, man. All I'm saying is this, man. I suggest you reflect on yourself.
Yeah. You want to talk about me? You want to talk about my character? You want to talk about the flaws that you think you see in it, but you don't want to talk about the conversation that we were having about the southern border because you're scared of the substance. Adios.
No, because I was already winning the argument, and you were, dude. You already didn't.
Okay,
you already weren't following what you said,
cope.
Dean.
You could cope. It's fine. You could cope. I'm fine with that.
Dean, you already openly said you would choose.
I don't want you to like have your ass bruised, right?
Wait.
Knowing that you lost in front of nearly 8,000 people on TikTok Live. You could cope. You could say that you won. You could say that I lost. I don't care. You're good, dude.
Wait. So before I leave, another thing I meant, and I noticed with you too. Actually, you know what? It's not worth it to have a conversation because you literally argue in such bad faith. But when did I once mention that just because if 1,000 people are entering the country and I am more concerned about that necessarily means that I'm saying that all the people entering the country are bad people?
When the fuck did I say that you said all the people?
You mentioned it a little bit briefly, and your whole chat was saying the same thing. They're saying he thinks all people in other countries are bad people. Your chat was spamming.
God, you are making a comparison between like undocumented migrants coming into our country, serial unalivers and criminals, right? So that's going to be where that claim is inferenced from. But like, no, for all intents and purposes, you didn't like explicitly state that everyone coming into our country was a bad person.
Correct. But you obviously, I mean, you already lost because you openly said that you literally would rather pick the person you know.
Thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal. Thanks for educating me.
Thanks for the conversation,
$5, Cross. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest here, y'all. If you are in the queue, make sure that you're voting for Trump. We'll let him cope. Everybody, let him cope. Let's get some W. Giovanni's in that chat. Everybody right now, W. Giovanni's, let him cope. Let's help him cope. Everyone, W. Gios, come on. WGOs, let's help him cope. Get the Dean one out of here. Let's help him cope. WGOs, help him cope. Y'all are still spamming LGO. Help him cope. Oh, you guys aren't listening to me. There we go. Now you guys are listening to me. There you go. See, we're good people over here. We'll help him cope. All right, hop in that queue if you're voting for Trump. We're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go and get our next guest, Ava Grace, loading up into the live here, guys. Everyone just give us a minute. If you want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio. That's a good way to get a message across to me as well as I'll give you a shout out. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. I'm really happy that we're actually still on live here, right? Like, hopefully we don't get taken down, but you know, we're doing so good so far. By the way, guys, we're really close to 1.2 million followers on the main account. That's really exciting. We're also about to hit 200K on Twitter and 100K on Instagram. Super awesome. Hey, what is going on? Are you voting for Trump? Oh, Water Dog's back. We'll get Water Dog up here. He was a little bit crazy. He's really bad faith too. Honestly, let's just fill the panel with like the most bad faith Trump debaters ever.
I'm back.
You're really bad faith. Lord Humongous, I remember you. You're
really
also
bad faith.
You're also like terribly faith. Terribly bad faith. Lord,
faith? You mean because I don't use the N-word like you do?
Okay, see what I mean, chat? See what I mean?
Or you mean, or because I don't attack women like you do?
Wait, I actually want to talk to you. Let's talk. I don't use the N-word. I did, but I don't. I don't anymore.
Exactly.
I no longer use
How do you know that Trump hasn't apologized? Because he didn't apologize to you directly?
Yeah, would you be able to find any source?
Because you haven't. The only reason why you apologize is because you got exposed for being a homophobic racist.
Okay, then how come I've been talking about this for the last year and a half? And I actually
because you have no choice. You have no choice to talk about it because you got fucking busted being a homophobic racist.
So then how come I have an announcement on my Discord from 8 months ago?
You have no choice but to admit to it because you got called out. As much as people watch your live,
hey, Lord,
you've never apologized for it.
When
You've
did I get
only
called out?
apologized for it recently, bro, and you know it. And just
Samantha,
like that
thank you
girl-
so much for the 20
just
bucks
like
on
the
Venmo
girl
for
who called
cooking.
you out.
I appreciate you for the
Just
20
like
bucks,
the girl who
Samantha.
called you out, bro. Who
I really
called you
appreciate you for the
short
20 bucks,
and called
Samantha.
you and said that you were looking for a witness, an alibi to get out of your SA case.
Okay, so first of all,
is that bad as well?
Do you know who QB is?
Is that bad as well? Is that bad? Why did you attack a woman? Why did you physically attack a woman?
Oh, so you
So
think
why
that
why do you physically attack women? Are you saying she's lying?
Do you know who QB is? Because if you know who QB is, you want to be making these comments. The people that have been watching the stream for a while, y'all would fucking know about this. Chat, do we know who QB is? Do we know who that is, chat? Do we know who QB is, y'all? It wasn't a woman that accused me, it was a man. It was a very sick man that threatened to grape my sister. A very sick man that I have 5 police reports against because he said that he was going to show up at my door and unalive me. A very sick man that wrote a song about me and Parker saying that he's going to slash Parker's Achilles tendon and rip his guts out. And he's going to...
That shows the character of you talking about a woman being attacked and you're smiling and smirking. You think it's funny that women get attacked.
Wait, you were talking about someone
that shows your character. Bro, you can't hide your character because you are a rapist. You're a bona fide rapist and a racist and a homophobe. And the only reason why you're talking about it, the only reason why it's at the tip of your tongue
thank you 1 second. Thank you so much for the thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate you, Cassie. Let's get some W's for Cassie down below in the chat for the $10. I really appreciate you for that. Go ahead.
Dude, the only reason why you're talking about it is because you're forced to talk about it. You have no other choice. This is your only play to save face because you are a bona fide racist, homophobic woman attacker. You attack women, bro. That lady wasn't the only person who made that claim. You sending out dick pics. You sending out dick pics to other women. Dude, I've already been told about some of you sending out dick pics, bro. Dude, to that girl, gamer something. She has a yellow profile pic that you were sending dick pics to her, bro. Why do you attack women like this?
To who and when?
Why do you attack women?
Yo, someone in the chat just said I what up next. That was
why
crazy.
do you attack women, man?
So I'd like to clarify.
That's disgusting. And why?
Vivian, I thank you for the $10 on them. I appreciate you for the love.
Comfortable.
Thank you so much for the love, Vivian. I appreciate you for the love.
Why'd you feel comfortable?
I'm ready to talk
N-word?
whenever you're done.
Why'd you feel comfortable using the N-word?
I'm ready to talk whenever you're done, man. Just let me know.
Why are you comfortable using the N-word or using homophobic slurs? What made you comfortable doing that?
If you could verbally clarify.
Hey, Patrick, thank you for the 32 cents. Ow! Get a W for Patrick. Go ahead.
Just let me know when you. Let me know when you're done,
Go ahead.
and I'll clarify.
Go ahead, clarify.
Okay, phenomenal. So, like, first of all, about the.
Hey, Dominic, thank you for the W's.
Okay.
Dominic, thank you for the W.
Lily, thank you for the $15 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. I appreciate you for the $15, Lily. You were phenomenal. Thank you so much for the $15. You were phenomenal. Let's get some W's for Lily in the chat. I really do appreciate you for that. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and like clarify all this. I think I got to spam the mute button because I don't think that you're capable of doing it yourself. Rachel, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Please mute the guest who just keeps screaming the same shit. Yeah, for real. Thank you for the $10, Rachel. W's for Rachel. Yeah. So for anyways,
Why do you
Doc, I
want to
appreciate you
mute,
for
buddy?
$5. Yeah, so the last time I sent someone a nude, that wasn't my current girlfriend that I've been on and off with for 4 years was when I was 15. So you're either going to be referencing someone that has a literal child pornography on their phone, or you're going to be referencing something that doesn't exist because you're lying. So, yeah, well, shoot for the latter there, right? Second all, about grape allegations. About grape allegations. Yeah, so this lunatic named QB that threatened to grape my sister, grape me, and unalive Parker. You could even look up Teen Withers QB online, or just look up QB and you'll find a 30-minute video about how he's a P3DO that wants to marry a 13-year-old, and then he came out and he started hosting these lives saying that I graped him because he was mad that I exposed him for graping his ex. Oh shit! And he actually even said that they were false allegations. Damn. Craziness. But then about the use of slurs. Yeah, I did use slurs when I was younger, 14, 17. Engaged in bigotry, racism, homophobia, 110%. I'm very happy that I was able to grow past my bigotry, become a better person through education, then turn around and share that same education with other people. But I have a couple donors to thank. Arnett, thank you so much for the $100 on PayPal. Holy shit, Arnett. Let's get at least 1,000 W Arnetts in the chat for the $100 on PayPal. You are insane. Thank you so much for the love, Arnett. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much, Arnett. Massive W Arnetts down below in the chat right now. And Tracy, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal to kick him out as well. Thank you, Tracy and Arnett. Show some love to Tracy and Arnett. We're down below right now. I really appreciate you guys.
Because you're a fucking rapist, bro. You're a fucking rapist to use the
who did I
fucking
grape?
nigger word.
What did you just say? Did he just say the word? Wait, let me clarify, chat. Did he just say the word?
The word.
Did he just say? Did he just say it? He did. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Get out of here. What the fuck? Okay, I had to make sure that I had to make sure that like my senses were correct. Holy shit. By the way, like Lord Humongous, if you're watching right now, like I could sue you for defamation. Like obviously I'm not, because like you're just not worth my time, but I could. Just want to clarify that one. We're gonna go to get our next guest up in here, guys. If you are in the queue, make sure that you're voting for Trump. Tracy, thank you so much once again for the $20. I really appreciate you for that love. Let's go and get our next guest up in the box literally right now. Let's go and see what Sloth 52 has to say. The unapologetic Marks, I appreciate you for the subscription. And then Tracy, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. And Jamie, thank you for the $20 as well. Rachel, thank you for the $10. And Lily, thank you for the $15. Make sure to show some love to Tracy, Jamie, Rachel, and Lily. You guys are phenomenal. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
I'm more undecided.
Okay, yeah. Would you ever vote for someone that's been held civilly liable for like violent sexual abuse?
Well, I mean, if you look at the reports about the sexual abuse, it was in civil court.
Okay, so you're not actually.
It's like a 51% thing. Right.
So no, I'd say that the minimum threshold of evidence, all right, is 51%. That's like the minimum for preponderance.
Right.
I'd say
right. And that's in civil court case.
So I'd say that it's proved beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt due to the specific evidence that E. Jean Carroll submitted to the court case. And if you disagree with me here, just tell me the reasonable doubt through the evidence she submitted.
Well, I've never looked at the evidence that she submitted.
So then how do you know that the court ruled incorrectly?
I never said the court didn't rule incorrect. It's just, it's different than a criminal case. A criminal case has to be proven without a doubt, whereas like a jury duty in civil case, like I said, the 51%, that's what is needed. So like a jury.
Okay, I just responded to that. What was my last? If you can't repeat the last two sentences that I just said to you, I'm going to kick you because you're not listening.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I haven't read
No. Repeat my last two sentences. I'm going to kick you if you can't because I just responded to all this.
You were talking about how the 51% is enough.
Cross, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. W's for Cross in the chat. Thank you for the $10. Go ahead, man.
You're talking about how the 51% is enough feasible evidence to convict somebody.
That's not what I was talking about. I do appreciate you for coming up. Just try to listen next time. Let's go and see what our next guest here has to say, y'all. Everyone just do give us a minute. Everyone do just be patient, guys. Do just be patient. Hey, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
I'm not. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, well, I appreciate you for coming up, man. Sterling, thank you so much for the $5. I do really appreciate you for that love. Thank you, Sterling. I appreciate everyone who's been showing up and showing some support today. Let's go to our next guest, Lucas, up in the box, y'all. You don't know how you deal with this. You just kind of get used to it over time. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
I don't even think I meant to click.
No worries. Guys, if you're in the queue, make sure that you're voting for Trump. We are just looking for people to debate here today. Let's go and get our next guest, Meg, up in the box, literally right now, y'all. So everyone just do be patient. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
I am not.
Okay, what did I just say, Meg?
I didn't hear you.
No worries. Just please respect that, guys. I do appreciate y'all, but please just respect that boundary. We're going to move on to our next guest right now. Everyone just do be patient. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Absolutely.
All right. Why are you voting for Trump?
Because he speaks for the adults in the country and Kamala Harris is partially mentally impaired.
So why do you think that Kamala Harris is mentally impaired?
She sounds like she's drunk and she can't even speak.
Okay. How many consonants are there?
What do you mean?
Like, how many continents are there in the world?
There's 7 continents. You see what you're doing here? You're trying to like attack my information or my intelligence because I said Kamala Harris isn't intelligent. So why don't we get to the word salad?
I'm so sorry. So are you driving right now?
No.
Okay. So yeah.
Why would I?
So here's it. If she's mentally impaired,
how many countries are there? Let's start grading out intelligences.
Somewhere
funny
between,
thing is,
I think it's either 200. I think it's 241.
Yeah, but you're wrong. So that's okay. But what I'm saying is, you asked me why I'm voting for Trump, right?
How many countries are there?
You want to hear why I'm voting for Trump?
No,
or you
one
want
second.
Me to ask you
How many countries are there?
What do you mean?
How many countries are there?
I'm not answering. I asked you that question. You don't answer a question with a question, right?
So you don't know?
Like you asked me a question, I answered your question. I was correct. You tried to answer my question.
It's either like low 200s or high 100s. It's between
That's
like
okay.
one.
That's okay. It's all right.
I'm pretty sure it's like either 193 or 195.
Okay. Well, you're closer than 2 whatever you said, which is a ridiculous answer.
So how many countries are there?
So let's go to the facts of the matter. The reason I'm voting for Trump is because he represents real policies, right? And he does real legitimate things.
Okay,
so
what's one policy that influenced to get passed the last time he was our president that you thought was good?
What do you mean? Are we going to play word salad again? So let's go to the tax cuts. Are you ready? You ready? Yep. Tell me that the tax cuts didn't help the middle class. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I actually think that his tax cuts. Okay,
so the funniest thing about that is that all the same paid content creators say the same stuff. And when you actually dig into the numbers and do the intelligent research, 97% of the taxes are paid by the top 1%. So like,
it's actually not 97, it's 45. But who am I paid by?
It's not 45. That's a ridiculous number. So for clarity.
Who am I paid by?
No, I'm just saying, like,
you said all the paid content creators. Who am I paid by?
What do you mean?
You said that I'm paid. Who am I paid by?
Did I say you were paid? I said other content creators that are paid.
Yeah, you said me. So I'm not paid. Just to clarify, I'm not paid.
So you weren't paid?
Oh,
I'm with you. Like, that's fine. If you weren't paid, that's perfectly fine. No problem. I'm not insinuating you were paid. I said all the content creators that are paid say the same thing. So let's go to the tax cuts. So since you're not old enough to contribute to the economy, I don't expect you to understand that the tax cuts help the middle class.
I'm not old enough to contribute to the economy.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't have kids.
Okay, so you don't have kids. Do you have 3 cars? Do you have payments? Do you have a house? Do you have a mortgage? Do you pay your own health care? I would bet you don't. So like your thing is like you speak from a glass house to people who actually stimulate the economy. And what Trump did, whether you like it or not,
I guess I don't spend money. Wait,
no, it doesn't matter about spending.
I just want to clarify. So if you drive one car and you rent an apartment, you don't contribute to the economy.
No. It's that. See, so what you're doing is you're kind of trying to curve it to what you're saying. Hear what I'm saying. Do you have a 50? Do you have a 401k?
Yeah, I had to correct you, and I'm the young.
How many
ignorant.
do you have a 401k?
Yeah, I do. So I'm the young ignorant doe, but I had to correct you on what it was called.
The problem you don't understand.
I'm the young buck that doesn't know his left from his right, but I had to correct you on what a 401k is.
See, this is the problem with young ignorant people like yourself, right?
That corrected you on what a 401k was called.
I'm speaking to you, right? Like you're asking me how many continents there were because you think you're so smart. That's really the problem. So let's move on. So you just got dominated on the tax cuts. Let's move on to another one, right? How about?
Well, Melissa, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Hey, Melissa, thank you for the What? Shuck it, sir. Melissa, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for helping me contribute to the economy. W's for Melissa in the chat. Will you thank Melissa for me?
I'm not thanking Melissa for putting $5 in your beggar's cup, bro. You're crazy. So
you think I'm begging for? Wait, how am I begging for money?
Dude, come on, man. Like, let's be serious here. Let's move on to a policy. How
about we talk about the taxes? I'd like to respond to that. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate to you that I'm like literally smarter than you and more knowledgeable than you on policy.
There's 0% chance. Honest to goodness, I'm not. It's all good. So you're 0 for 1. So then the next one. Let's go to the veterans, right?
No. If you think there's a 0% chance, I'm going to go to respond to that. Thank you. So for the next 10 years, how much is Trump's TCJA estimated to cost by the CBO?
First of all, First of all, what you're saying right now, I love to hear the young people read stuff off a card that you have no idea about. Like,
then I'm gonna go ahead and close my eyes.
Hold on.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and close my eyes because I'm not reading off a card. I will dunk on you with my eyes. In the next 10 years, how much is the TCGA estimated cost by the CBO?
Time data shift in the last week.
Okay, we're not going to pivot. You're going to answer my question. Mikey, thank you for the $5 on Venmo telling me to stop begging. We're not going to pivot. I'm not going to allow you to do it. You want to talk about tax policy? We're going to go do it.
You don't allow her.
Angela, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo to kick the gas. Let's get some W's for Angela down below. And Christian, thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal for the neck breaker. I appreciate you for the love, Christian. I appreciate you so much for the love. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and school you on tax policy. It's fine. I'll do your service. Alyssa, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo for doing my part in America. So yeah, for the next 10 years, Trump's TCGA plan is estimated to cost close to $6 to $7 trillion by the CBO or the Congressional Budget Office. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris is estimated to cost $2.4 trillion. Right? Donald Trump's plan disproportionately favors rich people, and it would inherently just follow trickle-down economics. However, we know in the way in which the TCGA is constructed that it actually doesn't engage in trickle-down economics, because we'd have a Brookings study after the 2017 TCGA that indicate that there's no macro-level increase in business investment in the country as a whole, so it didn't even achieve the end goal of trickle-down economics. And then we'd have a study from 2 Harvard professors, one right-leaning, one left-leaning. You could find it online by just typing in the macroeconomic effects of the 2017 tax reform bill that estimate that it only increased the GDP by 0.02% per year, which is about $10 billion. So yeah, this bill not only costs $7 trillion, and Donald Trump doesn't not only have a clue for how he's going to pay for it, but then it's not going to engage in trickle-down economics because it doesn't lead to an increase in business investment, and it marginally increases our GDP. And then how's Trump going to pay for this? He wants to pay through tariffs that wouldn't be able to account for $7 trillion over 10 years and regressively impact the average American the most by causing more inflation, and we'd see that members of the low and the middle class disproportionately spend more of their income on the bare necessities to live. So yeah, go ahead and tell me how this tax plan that disproportionately favors the rich man is going to increase the income inequities by regressively impacting the poor man the most is going to be good for our country, sir. Thank you for the fireworks. Vivian, thank you for the $1.11.
Do you understand that doesn't make
and
me
Angela,
smart?
thank you so much for the fireworks. I do appreciate you with the love as well. So
It's hysterical.
Tell me how that's going to be good for the country.
No. Like, so what you quote...
Bogado, thank you so much for the fireworks. I appreciate you for the love.
So here's what happens, right? You read off of a piece of paper from people who, like,
I had my eyes closed.
You probably believe Donald Trump's racist, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I had my eyes closed.
Why do you believe that?
Yeah, sure, I'll close my eyes for this too. Because
No, I'm asking you. Hold on. I'm not asking you to close your eyes. You're trying to make a joke of it because you're 0 for 1. So is Donald Trump racist?
Lily, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo for cooking with my eyes closed. I really appreciate you for the love, Lily. Let's get some W Lilies in the chat right now for the $50 for cooking with my eyes closed. I'm going to go and cook on this one too. Thank you so much for the $50.
It's so
Lily.
funny.
So first of all, Donald Trump is racist.
Rattle the cup. Let's answer the question.
How am I begging for money? Wait, so me thanking Lily for the donation is me begging for money? How?
Dude, you're online begging for money. So here's the thing, right?
How am I begging?
Answer the question, right? I asked you, right? I just asked you. I brought up veterans. Kamala's not better with veterans, period.
That's not true.
Right? That is true. That's 100% true.
So Kamala Harris passed the PACT Act that invested $800 million into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits.
Really?
To offer them up to 1 million new veterans. Name one thing that Donald Trump did for veterans during his presidency.
So hold on.
Apart from trying to cue the country that's antithetical to what they fought for to begin with.
So here we go,
and
right?
Bagel,
Here
thank
we
you so
go
much for the
with
galaxy. I appreciate you for the love. And
Here
then,
we
by
go
the way, about
with
Donald...
more word salad, right? Like, so Kamala Harris had 13 Marines killed on her watch.
Okay. And I guess what? Donald Trump had 65?
No. So you notice how like you
and
never
then let me ask you a question.
Stuff?
Who killed the 13?
What do you mean?
Who killed the 13 Marines in Afghanistan during the pullout?
Who do you think killed it?
An Al-Qaeda terrorist that Donald Trump brokered a deal to have let out of prison. So Donald Trump personally let out 5,000 terrorists from a prison and then invited them to Camp David on the anniversary of 9/11. And one of those 5,000 terrorists that he let out of prison ended up suicide bombing the Afghanistan pullout. That's
so. Are you
crazy.
done with your act? Are you done with?
I'm not done with my act because I'm able to cover you on all grounds. You also said that I was 0 for 1, right, about tax policy. I schooled you and then you pivoted.
No, you
right?
didn't
And then you asked me if
Donald
Trump. Then you asked me if Donald Trump is racist. So I'm going to go and do this with my eyes closed too. Donald Trump is racist, and the reason Donald Trump is racist is because he is an unapologetic.
Oh wait, you got back to the point. You didn't pivot. I'm not going to let you pivot, right? Remember when you said that? So stop like your little mealy mouth, like little beta stuff, and like, is Donald Trump racist? Answer the question.
Yep.
Okay, why?
Yeah, because he denied housing opportunities to black people because of the color of their skin in 1973, and then the DOJ of the state of New York pursued civil litigation and had him settle for doing so. He also called for the death penalty for the exonerated Central Park Five after they were exonerated in the early 2000s, with him being on record as early as 2015 in the presidential debate saying that they were criminals. He also said that Obama was born in Kenya, even though he was black and had a birth certificate from Hawaii, literally trying to take away an opportunity.
Hold on. So hold on.
You're
You're not going to get away with that. So Obama's not from Kenya.
Yeah, he's from Hawaii.
No, Obama's not from Kenya.
Yeah.
So do you believe
Katie? 1 second. Katie, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Katie. Let's get some W's for Katie in the chat. Thank you for the $20. Dealing with dudes who can't control the volume of their voice. He can't control anything about himself. Gabrielle, thank you for the $20 and the 24 cents on Venmo. Saying dog walking with my eyes closed, literally. Thank you so much for the love, Gabriella. Lily, once again, thank you for the $50. If anyone else does want to support me and piss the guest off, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in the bio. I appreciate you guys for the love.
So are you ready to make a point, or are you going to keep listing stuff that's irrelevant, that's vomited from the liberal press? What do you want to do?
Yes, Donald Trump, like denying housing applications to black people.
So Donald Trump
is irrelevant
was
to Donald Trump is racist.
So Donald Trump was so racist that the whole liberal media loved him until he ran for president, right? Right?
Yep. I think
he
you
was
could be
so
racist and be loved by the media. Yeah.
You ever meet someone so racist they win?
You could be racist and be loved by the media.
They win lifetime achievement awards from the NAACP, but then we got to listen to you say that someone's racist. It's laughable. It's laughable to hear it. But so now you're 0 for 2. So you pivot.
So I just want to clarify. So Donald Trump calling all black people lazy isn't racist then? Is that your position?
No, that's not my position. Why would you say that? I never said
he's
that.
Racist.
Why would you say that?
So then you think that Donald Trump is racist because he called all black people lazy
hold on,
never held himself accountable or apologized?
Hold on. Someone dropped the N-word, and you just said that you could sue them for defamation, but I won't. But you just try to say
thank
that.
You so much for the $2 on PayPal.
You try to do something reverse to me. So okay, so you're 0 for...
I said that I could sue them for defamation because they were like continuing to repeat a false story about how I raped someone.
What about foreign policy?
For defamation because they were like continuing to repeat.
Okay, this is going to be a hard one. French disaster. I understand that you don't have that much self-control. I do have you muted for a good reason, though. I need you to swipe out of your TikTok app like you're going to respond to a text message from your ex-wife.
I do have you muted.
And then swipe back into the app. Right now you have an echo on your phone. I know that you hear my voice twice, so that's what you got to do. There you go. Feel free to unmute. Feel free to re-engage in the conversation. Let's do it. But,
what did you just say?
Mulaney, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Mulaney, for schooling MAGA blindfolded. Let's get at least 500 W Mulaney's in the chat for the $50. Oh, no, he's pissed. Thank you so much for the love, Mulaney. And Mario with the $15 on PayPal for schooling him. Thank you so much for the $15, Maria. I appreciate you for the love, Maria. And Leanne with a... Shut up, buddy. Leanne, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo for donkey slapping French hee-haw. I appreciate you for the love,
you're getting your little feelings hurt?
I'm thanking my
your little feelings got hurt,
thank you so much for the $2 on... Wait, why would my feelings be hurt when I'm thanking people for donating to me?
So now you're 0 for 3. So let's go on to number 4. So foreign policy. Hey, how did negotiating the Ukraine war work out for Kamala Harris? They sent her over there, right?
Ukraine war?
No, they sent her over there, right? Right? And then she went there.
And who did she negotiate with?
And she negotiated, and what happened?
What did she
didn't even leave. She didn't even land in America, and they started the war.
So what did she negotiate?
How about the other things that she's negotiated? How about Kamala Harris? Let's go here.
Chris, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. French, what did she negotiate, and who did she negotiate with?
So again, is Kamala Harris's mom and father African American? You're 0 for 4. You keep trying to pivot. You keep trying to turn it back on me because you're unknowledgeable.
Neither of them are African American. Her father, Donald, is Afro-Jamaican, and her mother is South Asian. Logan, thank you for the $5.
Okay, so her mom is South Asian from India.
Yep.
And it's weird, right? Like, you guys look at Donald Trump's whole life as kids. Why did Kamala produce an autobiography and try to pass off her family's slaves as her family? To get people like you. Oh, no, she's not.
Yeah,
right?
she is. And I'll actually...
she just used them. The funny thing is...
So I'll actually...
when they...
Hey, I'll actually prove this to you through your own worldview. Like, I mean, you're really deep in the MAGA pipeline. Like, you probably know how she's related to a slave owner, right? So how could a black woman from Jamaica be related to a white Irish slave owner in Jamaica? Did you know that like the white Irish slave owners?
What are you talking? This is the
white Irish slave owners would grape the black enslaved individuals, right? And then some of them would get pregnant, and then they'd give birth, and then the product of that birth would be turn around, put back into that system. Wouldn't benefit from white supremacy. Wouldn't benefit from slavery, and would actually be turned into the slave themselves. Yeah.
Hey, are you going to keep muting me when you lie?
Only when you interrupt me.
Like, her family are the slave owners. It's not in question.
How could a black woman be related
and look
to a
how
slave owner?
racist you sound. The only way you can imagine her.
Tree, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. And Garrett, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. And David, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. W's for David in the chat. Thank you for the $25, David. You are absolutely phenomenal. I really appreciate you.
The only way you can try to relate it. Think about how racist what you just said is. The only
Jody,
way
thank you for the $3 and Mario, thank you for the $15 on PayPal as well. You guys are phenomenal.
This is what it is, right? The only way you can connect her is think about how racist you are. You just said that the only way she was connected was that the slave owners had sex with the slaves, and that was her family.
Jeremy, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. And Santana,
just
thank
say
you for the
you
$5.
don't know.
Santana, are you sure?
She was the slave owners.
Santana, are you
That's
sure?
the funny thing. Like,
Santana, feel free to hop in there. Feel free to hop in the requests. I'm talking to someone else.
It's amazing.
Jade, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal just to keep screaming over him. I appreciate you for the love, Jade. And Jeff, thank you for the $10 to make this clown say her name correctly. You got it. Thank you so much for the love, Jade. So first of all, her name's Kamala. Can you pronounce that real quick for me, little boy?
Oh, look at you insulting me again because your little feelings got hurt. Because now I exposed you, right?
Okay.
So now you're exposed, right? So when I asked you if Donald Trump was racist, you listed ridiculousness, which is fine.
All right. Well, I'm going to go and respond to your last claim. So, yeah, there's actually a lot of black people in America today, African-American, Afro-Jamaican, that are related to white slave owners. Right? And the reason, once again, they're related to white...
No, there aren't.
There is.
No, there aren't. That's a lie. That's a liberal lie that you believe.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and find out exactly what it is.
Because now you stepped in it twice, right? Right? So how did you not know Kamala Harris's family were slave owners in Jamaica?
I actually did know that, and then I brought that up to you. That was my point.
No. You said that, okay, so here's the thing. Did you listen to what I said?
Holy fucking
because
shit.
If you look, what did I say? I said, hey, did you know that Kamala Harris had an autobiography where she tried to pass off slaves on her plantation as her family members? Your responses...
I actually just got a study from you. Yeah, so about 13% of African Americans have like a European descent within like their 23andMe and their gene pool. So you could look up on PubMed the genetic structure and history of Africans and African Americans. This is PMID 19407144. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is the problem, right? It's like you don't understand. You think like numbers. So tell me, you're knowledgeable. How many African Americans in America are descendants of slaves?
Yeah, the studies would be correct.
Well, how much is it? No, they're in America, right? You're saying European.
Okay,
I'm talking about America.
Okay, well, I'm trying to speak here, but you won't let me speak. And Kylie, thank you so much for the $10.
My fault.
Kylie, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Kylie. Thank you so much. And Roger, thank you for the $5 as well. Santana, I'm trying to get you up here. I'm trying to get you up in here. If you could find a way into the guest request, I'll happily bring you up. And Juliet, thank you for the $5 on PayPal as well. Thank you, Juliet. W's for Juliet in the chat. Yeah, so I mean, I've already explained this to you. I gave you a study that indicate about 13% of your end.
No, you didn't give me a study that indicated it. Why do you keep doing that?
Holy shit.
Like, I don't understand what you don't understand. Like, you didn't give me a study that indicated that. You literally got caught with your pants down.
I gave you the name of the study and the PMID. I will repeat it once again. So it's going to be the genetic structure and history of Africans and African Americans, PMID 19407144, right? And then also, like, the reason why a lot of African Americans and black people in America today are related to white slave owners is because if you like knew anything about like literature of like slavery, right? Well, it was like posited in the time that black women couldn't feel pain. Sterling, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. So, like, white slave owners, right, truly believed that black women couldn't feel pain, and they'd like literally treat like these human fucking beings as like sex dolls. Okay, right? And then to also literally intentionally rape and impregnate black enslaved women for the purpose that if they got pregnant and had that child, that would be a free slave that they wouldn't have to spend money on. It's fucking heartbreaking, but it's fucking true. Thank you so much for the ICU, and that's why
it's funny because that's not the case.
That's why we see so many.
French. That's definitely the case. Listen, I am Black American. I'm born and raised from South Carolina, and I have about 24% European in me, and that's because my descendants were raped by slave owners. The same way that Kamala Harris descendants were raped by slave owners. That is exactly what happened. Dean isn't making this up. No. It's the truth. Listen, bud. Hold on. Listen, bud. You might not believe it, but that's why some black people are so light-skinned.
No. Hold on.
That's why my complexion is lighter than other people's complexion. No. Listen, I have no reason to lie about what's in. Listen, I've had a 23andMe DNA test. I know my history. I know exactly where my roots come from. Yeah, no, it absolutely does. But and listen, the fact that you're sitting here, you're all across the board. No, French, you're not going to tell me about myself. It's funny.
Hold on. So address the Kamala Harris part.
French, you can sit here and you can.
Harris.
First of all, it's Kamala.
No. Stop.
Kamala. No.
Okay,
French.
Kamala. I'm sorry.
French.
Kamala,
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
You know
Kamala
why?
Harris.
You know why you need to make sure you're saying her name correctly? You know why you need to make sure you're saying her name correctly? Because that's a microaggression that's used by racists to dehumanize black people. Saying that we don't have to say that you don't have to say our names correctly. That's enough. No, listen, French, you're trying to have this conversation.
Parker.
So if you want to have the conversation, it's time for you to actually learn. Listen, bud, you came up here thinking that you knew something and you're learning that you don't. So either you're going to take this information or not.
Only reason
before French responds, I'm going to interject here and just thank a couple people for your donations. Dylan, I appreciate you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you, Dylan. Sterling, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo as well. Harley, thank you so much for the $2. Savannah, thank you so much for the $5. Kylie, thank you so much for the $10. Matthew, thank you for the $1. Madison, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you all. Griffin, and then of course Santana in there letting me know that you're in this stream. I appreciate you guys so much for popping up. And then Jade, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Victoria with the $2 on PayPal. Amy with the $5 on PayPal. Juliet and Eugene with the $5 and Jeff with the $10 and Jade with the $10. You guys are phenomenal. I really appreciate you guys for the love. Frenchie, feel free to come back up here. Speak your mind. Let's have a productive conversation here. Honestly, I feel like if you took some melatonin, it'd be a lot better. And he left. Santana, you scared him away with facts and laws.
Listen, Dean, they don't want to have these conversations. They want to virtue signal. They want to, pontificate. They want to sound like they know what they're talking about. They want to stand on the quote unquote side of righteousness or justice, but they don't want to really have these conversations. So
for real,
I don't know.
Feel free to hang out if you want to coast for a little bit. Christina, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for my iconic use of the mute button. So real. W's for Christina. Anyways, what's going on, Coleman? Are you voting for Trump?
I'm voting for Kamala. Well, my parents are.
I do appreciate you. We are just looking for people that are voting for Trump, guys. We're going to move on to our next guest. We got Mike loading up, y'all. Everyone just give us a minute. What's up, Mike? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
All right. Why's that?
I just think everything's going to be better with him.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Well, how can you vote for somebody that has stated people in your age group is stupid?
Yeah, because the other guy's a rapist, felon, want to be dictator and a day one fascist that already tried to coup the country and rig the outcome of the 2020 election, that a sexualized little girl is boasted about grabbing women by the P word and said that he likes to walk into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. Plus, like when she said that people in my age group were stupid, she was referencing like a lack of general like worldly knowledge and wisdom. Of course, I think that she said it crude and she's since like detract that that statement. Not to mention that it is like a true dichotomy here, because Donald Trump did call all Republicans stupid and said that he would still have people supporting him if he shot someone on Fifth Avenue. So it's like either way you go, you're stupid, I guess, in my age group. So yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to defend anything that he said because I feel everything that he has said is, bad on everybody.
Well, hey, Mike, quick question for you.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you're older now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So do you think that you were at your best at 18 or 19?
No, not at all.
Oh, awesome. So the point that you're referencing, and as far as Kamala Harris saying that young people basically make worse decisions, is true, right? Think about when you were younger, the decisions, especially as a man, the decisions that you made as a young man versus the decisions that you would make today aren't the same. And it was just a point of reference saying that younger people need to be incubated, for a lack of better words, and help to grow to where they make better decisions. So it's not that she's saying they're stupid. It's more that she's saying that they need more guidance, which is true.
Yeah, and wasn't this like all like in the context of a speech where she was referencing how we need to like make our systems better equipped to deal with young adults in like universities and whatnot?
Absolutely.
I thought it was. I remember hearing her say it, and I'm thinking, these people are voting. Well, I say that, but
okay. Do you mind if I ask you a follow-up question here, Mike?
Yeah, I've got something else. Most everybody that's supporting Harris, it seems like they want to be there because everything she's offering. Like nobody that's on here that's supporting her has a regular 9-to-5 job. They're on here constantly. They're looking for the free housing that she's supposed to give, which the $25,000 is a drop in the bucket, and it's supposed to help the cost of the closing costs, not the actual stuff that's going to help.
She's projected to win the popular vote. So you'd say that more than like half of Americans that vote don't have a regular 9-to-5 job and just want a free house?
I'm saying the people that's on here supporting her.
Oh, I mean, look at the comment section. That's obviously false. Are you like talking about me?
No, not you. You're a college student, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if it's just about like the people, yeah, like a lot of people that support her have a regular 9-to-5 job. Bethany, thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. Actually, did you know, like, did you know that like I actually think that like the average Democrat has a higher income than the average conservative?
And that could be, it may not be. But your brother,
Leslie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Leslie. You are phenomenal.
Mr. Withers, isn't your brother Parker?
Yeah, brother from another mother. How about that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you all was brothers.
That's really funny.
One, I'm kind of referencing to. He's on here night and day, and he's letting his girlfriend go to college and pay the bills while he sits at home and
Oh, dude!
Don't get me wrong. You guys are phenomenal.
I feel fine saying this because like we could just all inference this from Parker's character. He's a good boyfriend to his girlfriend. I don't need to say anything else. It's just not my space. But he's a really good boyfriend to his girlfriend. I wouldn't be worried about. I wouldn't be worrying about her if I was you. Okay.
I have to admit, you two are phenomenal. You're nowhere near stupid. You're very intelligent. I mean, I seen your YouTubes versus your TikTok. You just got like 3 algorithms going at one time and raking up the dough. I mean, I wish I had half that smarts to do that.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you. I hope they have a good rest of your day, man. We're going to move on to our next guest. Thank you.
And by the way, I am going to vote for Harris.
That's so... You know what? All right, Mike. All right,
that
Mike.
was a swerve. I didn't expect that one.
No, I didn't expect that either. Okay, Mike. Okay, Mike. Okay.
Let me drop this in your arsenal. Did you realize that Trump just received another lawsuit for defamation?
Oh no, I didn't. Who from?
From the Central Park Five for his comments from the debate.
Great.
They're suing
as
him
he should.
again. Exactly.
As they should. Good for him. W for the Central Park 5 in the chat. And W's for Brenda in the chat with a $50 on Venmo. Holy shit, Brenda. Thank you so much. Show some massive love to Brenda. Brenda says, I'm rich and voting for Harris. Thank you for the $50, dude. W's for Brenda. Holy shit. Right? Fucking queen over here.
And Ben, W's in the chat for Ben, $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Ben.
Thank you for the money again. I appreciate that as well. What's up, Shotgun? Are you voting for Trump?
I'm actually voting for Cornel West. I was spamming the chat to see if I could come make the case. It's okay if I can't.
No, we're going to move on to our next guest. Thanks for coming up, though. Moving on. If you want to support either myself or Santana, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal in the bio and in the link tree. I appreciate you for the subscription as well. Make sure to drop a Trump down below in the chat. Drop a MAGA down below in the chat if you do want to come up in a debate. What's up, Blue Collar? Are you voting for Trump?
Hey, yes, I'm voting for Trump. I also want to say before I start talking, I love how y'all are actually having conversation. My thing about Kamala Harris is I am very concerned about
I gotta ask.
policy.
I gotta ask. Are you driving?
Yes, but I have the Bluetooth.
Please re-request as soon as you're not driving. I want to talk to you. Everyone remind me about her to recheck the
Hey,
guest
how's it
request
going,
a little
man?
bit. What's up, Sean? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
Is there anything that you could do
reasons.
to reduce the amount of background noise there is right now?
That's just my AC, man.
All right. So why are you voting for Trump?
So I see it as he better protected our borders, right? He's done more things.
I'm sorry, Sean. I really wanted to hear you out. That noise was just a little bit too insufferable. What's going on, man? Are you voting for Trump?
Of course. Good afternoon. How we doing?
You spent the $47 just to get the black MAGA hat?
Well, I purchased this 2 months ago before Elon did the whole thing. So black is my favorite color. So.
Okay. So why are you voting?
Well, I
for
mean,
Trump?
do you support, do you donate to campaigns yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't really attack me for that. You know, I really like that.
Well, yeah, I wasn't attacking you. So.
All right. Well, okay. Well, enough with the formalities. So what? So for me, a big thing is my question to you: why in every most metropolitan areas, right, which are largely vote blue, correct? You would say throughout the country, like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, they're largely blue. Why is there the biggest wealth disparity in those cities? The biggest wealth gap, and if they have so many like social programs, and if these people really if our tax dollars, right, are really truly accounted for, and we know that these people are being helped, why are there so many homeless? If you have you ever been to Denver before or Los Angeles?
I live in Boulder.
You live in Boulder, right? And you've seen all it's sad to see all the people with the tents and the tarps all lined up the sidewalk. And I know some of it is due to addiction, some of it is due to mental health.
Do you mind if I hop in here?
What was that?
I'd love to hop in here. So I'd say that the reason that we see larger homeless populations in big cities and better wealth and income inequalities is we see the greater wealth income inequalities because of larger homeless populations, and that's where corporations are based upon. So we'd see the fucking million and billionaires based out of these big cities. And then on top of that, I'd say the reason that we see more homeless people in these areas is because we see significantly higher levels of inflation and higher prices in these areas for the bare necessities to live, for housing, for food, etc. And the reason that we see these higher prices is just because of simple supply and demand. Ali, I appreciate you for the $5.
Supply and demand, correct.
In the chat. And there's a multiplicity of external variables that we could factor in here apart from the Democrat policy. But my claim would be on the federal scale, when we're comparing Kamala Harris's policy to Donald Trump's policy, one is obviously better for the average American, one is obviously better for income inequities, one is obviously better for the economy, one is obviously better for the debt, one is obviously better for the deficit. All right, so maybe we could talk about that instead.
Well, where would you like to begin on that topic?
Tell me why you're voting for Trump. Jessica, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Jessica. W's for Jessica in the chat. Thank you.
Well, economically speaking, 2016 to 2020, minus obviously if we want to talk pre-COVID, he had this program where he had this apprenticeship program where over 800,000 apprenticeship opportunities were given out, and that was X'd out underneath the Biden policy in Biden-Harris administration in 2023, eliminated 800,000 apprenticeship opportunities in the trade section. Why?
Okay, so what was the name of that bill?
Something apprenticeship. Listen, I'm not a political scientist. I've read. I've done a little bit of research. I'm going to keep it honest. That's what I know.
If you could give me a name of the policy, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. But if I don't know the name of the policy, I don't think we could have a discussion about it.
Well, apparently we can't, but thank you for the time and have a wonderful day. Thank you for the discussion.
Before you go, I just have a quick question because you're speaking on economics and you're also speaking on policy. The one question I do have is what policy has Trump put forward that makes you believe in this next term, if he were to win, that he would actually benefit the middle or lower class? Because I haven't seen anything as of yet where he's actually trying to lift anyone out of poverty. Yet we have people who are standing on what he quote unquote did before.
So here's the way that I view it, and you may view things differently. And at the end of the day, we're all Americans, regardless of whether you vote blue, red, green, regardless. We're all Americans, and I hate that there's so much divisive division in this country. It's gross. I think we should all stand together as one people and find a place of commonality. That being said, as far as me supporting Trump, one of his policies, the Reciprocal Tax Act, which I feel is fucking amazing. People are talking about tariffs and how they're bad and that they're it's taxing the American people. It's gonna cause goods to the price of goods to go up, inflation to go up. I think that it's a great thing. It's going to stop. Listen, please let me land my plane, and then you can.
Okay. You sound like
respectfully so.
Sound like a decently smart guy. You got to be going somewhere with this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And again, zero insults being thrown. So as far as corporations go, right? When you tax, let's say China imposes a tax of 100% on any exports that we send out, right? If we don't tax them the same rate, they got kind of a leg up on us economically, you would say. In a way.
Okay, so right? when does China impose tariffs on imports from the U.S.?
What do you mean?
You're saying that we need to impose tariffs on them because they're imposing tariffs on us. So when does China impose tariffs on us? Because historically speaking, they've only imposed tariffs on us when we've imposed tariffs on them. If you look at
it was a broad example. I'm not saying China in specific. I'm using an example of any country.
The point is, when you look at the U.S. tariffs on China, every single time we've historically increased them, we've seen our U.S. agricultural exports plummet because they just turn around and put it right back on us. That bankrupted American farmers under Trump's term. But
where do we get most of our produce?
Where do we get most of our produce? I don't know. You probably know that I don't.
Brazil.
Thank you so much for the $3 on PayPal. Phenomenal.
Brazil. Other South American.
Do you mind if I finish those?
Brazil is a gigantic export, is where we receive a large number of our produce.
Great. So do you mind if I finish? So with all due respect, sir, I would like to finish without you interrupting me. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tariffs are bad because they're an unnecessary government intervention into the free market that creates drastic inefficiencies, such as plummeting of U.S. exports and inflation. I agree with the sentiment of a focus on American manufacturing. I think that's good. I think that's something that we need. I agree that we should reindustrialize America, but there's other ways to achieve this end goal that don't create the same inefficiencies, right? The way I like to achieve this end goal is just through pure investment. I'd say that we should be investing in American manufacturers, which is a way to recenter American manufacturing, put us back on that world scale, reindustrialize our economy without imposing those unnecessary inefficiencies.
So how do you feel
inflation that regressively impact members of the low and the middle class the most? So it's not an issue of us disagreeing on a reindustrialization of America. It's an issue on us disagreeing on how we get there.
Sorry for interrupting, but I didn't want to lose that thought. But instead of trying to reindustrialize, I'm talking about retention. When you raise taxes, higher taxes on corporations, they're going to want to outsource on foreign labor, and they're going to seek to build outward because it's cheaper labor.
We don't see that.
It is true.
We don't see that. No. Because we had a 35% corporate tax rate under Obama. We had a 21% corporate tax rate under Trump. Who and under what presidency do we export to foreign labor more?
Excuse me. Can you repeat? You speak really fast and it's hard. I have stage 1 colon cancer and I have a speech impediment. I'm not 100%. So you speak a little fast. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Oh, you're good, man. I'll slow down. I know how that treatment can like impact you. I had a friend named Andy that died from cancer. Leading up to that, I mean, it's really like fucking. It can create a lot of like problems. So I absolutely understand, man. I'll try to slow down my speech for you, bro.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I'm just here for the good discussion.
Yeah. Anyways, when we increase the corporate tax rate, I'd agree that there is something called taxing businesses too much, but I would disagree that increasing the corporate tax rate to 28% is doing that. So historically speaking, say over the last 70 years, we've had very high corporate tax rates. For most of history, it was about 45%. Leading up into Trump's term, it was 35%. What did we had? We had like 50, 70-year record low rates of unemployment in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We had an industrialization of corporations here at home in America blowing up, creating their goods. We had high real median wages, and this was all with high corporate tax rates. So I don't think that a 7% increase in the corporate tax rate is significant enough to like plummet the amount of goods that we're producing here at home in the U.S. or the amount of jobs that we have for U.S. citizens, and it definitely isn't high enough to be inflationary to a degree that is macro, that is like relevant on the macro scale.
Understandably so. That being said, I'm gonna hop out. I'm feeling a little.
Well, let me hit.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, well you can go. I was just gonna say let me hit you one thing real quick. So I did look up the reciprocal trade under Agenda 47, and basically it's just saying how they're gonna stop jobs from leaving the U.S. with tariffs. So the one thing I'll just kind of close on this topic with is letting you know, like, yes, tariffs are inflationary. Tariffs have their place, but using tariffs as a tool of negotiating and, just bad faith is not how America should treat any of our trade partners. So it's going to cause more issues. And the fact that Trump just wants to put tariffs and increase tariffs on every country is a huge problem. It's not an actual economic plan or a solution. So we might want to dig into that one a little bit more. But I know you're tired and you have to go. I appreciate you having a conversation with us.
One last thing before I go. I know, this is probably a largely blue chat, but either way, God bless you all. And I've seen a lot of comments where people are saying they had cancer, not trying to take up too much time. Power to you. God's with you. So shout out to y'all.
Yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, man. I appreciate you for coming up here. And that's an example of someone that's conservative because they actually think it's better for the country and they want to do their research compared to someone that's conservative because they're hateful of those around them.
Yeah, what bothers me the most about Trump is how he's very misleading in a lot of the things that he says and does, and he preys on the people who don't take the time to actually dig into things. And that's how that's one of the ways that he riles up his base. Can I say a few thank yous?
Yeah, go for it, man. I actually have one myself. Thank you so much. Wait, you go first. Oh, you're a kid. Go ahead, Santana.
Yeah, thank you, Mika, for the $25. Keep cooking. Kimberly for the $2. Nora for the $5. Keith for the $1. And Kimberly for the $2. Thank you all.
Yeah, and then Christian, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal, saying from Norway. Oh, I know you're from Christian. I know that you're from Norway, Christian. You're coming in here every day now. Saying 2 weeks until Election Day gift. I appreciate you for the love. Hopefully we win, right? We're going to go get our next guest up in here. It looks like our viewership plummeted, got cut in half. The same thing happened over on Parker's stream. I wonder what that is. By the way, we're on Parker's account today, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, Tyler? Are you voting for Trump?
I am, yeah.
Now, why would you ever want to vote for Trump?
So I think firstly, to go with the economics of America. I mean, in the last 4 years, I can't live off of $23 an hour. That kind of seems a little ridiculous to me.
Where do you live?
Currently I live in Louisiana, but when I was making money,
you can't live off of $23 an hour.
I was making that money. I was living in Oregon.
Okay. I don't know. 20. I mean, working full time on 23.
Absolutely not. I could not afford housing. I couldn't afford rent.
Are you saying? Do you have a wife and kids?
I have a kid. I don't have a wife.
There you go. That's what it is. Yeah. I bet it's pretty hard to manage a kid with like 23 an hour. Okay.
Absolutely.
Anyways, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say like that's probably. So how did Biden and Harris cause inflation?
Well, I can't directly say they caused it, but I know over the last 4 years, it has increasingly got more expensive, and it's gotten more hard to try to live as an American in these times with, they're sending money to Ukraine, and I think it's fine to help people out and all, but
well, let's just talk about the inflation. So, like
this
our current
is the
administration,
United States of America, not the United States of other countries.
Our current administration didn't make your life harder, didn't make things more expensive, didn't make rent double. COVID did. So COVID onset global inflation in every country around the world, even in the US, but we had the quickest rebound from it out of any other country in the G7. But that doesn't reflect negatively upon our current administration at all. If anything, we should be praising them for ushering in the quickest response from the pandemic possible. And secondly, about our funding to Ukraine, maybe we should fight against Russian expansion. Maybe we should fight against a threat of World War III. Maybe we should spend like 2% of our federal budget on other countries. But if you don't like the idea, we do have a contractual agreement that we should be honoring and signed with Ukraine.
I am a strong believer also with this is the United States of America, is our borders are out of control. And criminals, absolutely not. Who's been in office the last 4 years?
Biden and Harris tried to pass a bipartisan border bill through the House and the Senate 2 years ago. Trump torpedoed it.
Well, our borders were the most secure under Trump.
Really?
And Harris has been in charge of the borders over the last 4 years, and she is, there's been thousands upon thousands of illegals coming in, taking.
I hear the same talking points every day. What I was trying to say is that the reason we saw an influx of people coming into our country was because of the expiration of Title 42. The influx was natural, normal, and expected. We should evaluate their responsibility for how they handled it. They attempted to handle it through bipartisan legislation in the House and the Senate. They got there, then Trump torpedoed it, telling the Republicans to vote against it. Second of all, they then passed an executive order that has now put daily crossings at lower levels than what we saw at the end of Trump's term. Third of all, if I was a conservative and I cared about immigration, Trump wouldn't be my guy because he didn't pass any legislation that effectively worked on the border, and he only claimed that his clampdown started with the introduction of Title 42 that was set in stone because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. So...
Also, you said you live in Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. God?
Yeah, well... Isn't there also an issue, or gonna be an issue, with how she's saying how she wants to give middle class money, but where's that money coming from?
Oh no, Natasha! Thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal. Yeah, so our tax cuts are estimated to cost a little over $2 trillion. It's coming from an increase in the corporate tax rate, unrealized and realized capital gains tax on people with over $100 million in assets, and then saving money through spending with Medicare. Donald Trump's tax cuts are estimated to cost $7 trillion. Where the fuck is that money gonna come from?
Well, I mean, it's coming from other countries that he's making forced to pay for the stuff that we're sending out to him for free.
Tariffs. Yeah, that's not what we're sending out. That's what we're taking in, first of all. And then second of all, tariffs cause inflation and will make your life harder. If you make like, you're doing 23 an hour, I don't know what that is per year, but it'll make your life harder. It'll inflate the price of goods at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. But they're already inflated.
Well, they're going to be inflated more. You don't want that, right?
I mean, no, I wouldn't, but I can't. I mean, there's just so many lies on both ends. You don't know what to believe.
Well, tariffs are supposed to cause inflation. It's because that's how they incentivize American manufacturing. Tyler, I have a question for you. Would you ever vote for someone that's been held civilly liable for raping a woman?
Absolutely not.
Donald Trump has been held civilly liable for raping a woman.
And you have proof?
Yeah, I'll actually just go ahead and pull it up for you literally right now. Go ahead and give me a second. Everyone keep his absolutely not answer there in mind. That's going to be very important. So here's a jury verdict form from the civil court that held him liable. The first question is, did Mr. Trump rape Carol? They said no. The second question is, did Mr. Trump sexually abuse Miss Carol? They said yes. The reason why they selected no right here is because they defined rape as a penis entering into the vajayjay without consent. He was held liable for penetrating her with their fingers against her will. But of course, we both consider that to fall under our colloquial definition of rape. And since then, the state of New York has updated their law to reflect this is rape, and they even clarified in the case that it is rape. So yeah, you said that you never vote for someone that's been held civilly liable for rape. Donald Trump has been held civilly liable for rape, and here's a jury verdict form from that case.
That's crazy.
So does this mean that you won't be voting for Trump?
I mean, probably not. I probably won't now, knowing this. But I mean,
you said you absolutely
like
wouldn't
Kamala
vote for someone else civilly liable.
any better either. So
Bro, you literally said that you absolutely wouldn't vote for someone else
I wouldn't.
for Trump.
I wouldn't vote for a fucking rapist, but I also.
Hey, Mr. Trump was held liable for that.
But also, why does that mean I got to vote for Kamala either?
Just, dude, that's a whole other step. That's a whole other step. That's a whole other step. You're right. No, that's a fair point. That's a whole second step. But all that I'm asking you to do, is put 1 foot in the right direction. I'm not asking you to sprint a marathon.
And here's my thing: is I've been in between this whole thing. You know, I've went more towards Trump. There's been things I've went more on Kamala on. But I mean,
Kamala. Her name is pronounced Kamala.
Sorry, Kamala.
No, you're good. I doubt you're doing it.
Yeah, sorry.
But correct you there.
You know, seeing Kamala bash my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on a video, it wasn't. You know,
listen. That video didn't happen. So just to clarify, she was at a rally. There were some protesters. They were actually in the rally screaming out lies, lies. And she actually took a moment to stop and say, no, you're thinking about the smaller rally that's down the street. And after that, there were 2 younger guys that were there who actually left out and went outside of the rally, doctored the video, and overwrote what the people actually said, and made it seem like she was actually disparaging the Christian religion when that never happened. So there's actual video documentation as far as what happened, firsthand accounts that was not true at all.
Okay. Plus, I'm just gonna say, you have a lot of reason to believe that what Santana is saying here is right. No competent politician would shit on Christianity in a country where 88% of our congressmen and women are Christian, and 54% of the public is Christian, and where every president we've ever had is Christian. That is political suicide.
Well,
it's just bad business.
There's such thing as slip of tongue and whatnot, but you know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Especially because she's Christian herself. She's Baptist.
Yeah.
And even more so, listening to her talk, especially how the right says she doesn't say anything. If she doesn't say anything, do you think she would have a slip of tongue?
I mean, you would think not, but you never know.
Got it.
Okay. Well, is there anything else? Oh, God. Sorry, man.
No. It's on you, Dean.
Is there anything else you want to go over here today, Tyler?
No, I appreciate what you guys do. I think it allows people to come and talk instead of, hating each other. I mean, I see both points, and I just hope we get the best person to lead America to greatness and not send us to the depths of hell,
No, I appreciate you for coming up here and being open-minded. That's the way that we should interact with politics. See you, man.
All right, bye.
That's the way that we should all interact with politics. Fine by me, bro. God damn it. That's all it is. It's just stop treating politics like your fucking favorite NFL team or dude.
They make it a part of their personality. They get so entrenched. That's why, when Biden dropped out, it was such a hard reality because they had made that so much of who they are. And now you have to switch that. It's weird. Don't love politicians. I don't care who they are.
Yeah, and it's I just wish that people would be more open to being less partisan. Like I criticized liberals on X yesterday, and a lot of people are like, "Holy shit!" You're like, "What the fuck?" But like, that's what it's supposed to be. Like, everything on the side is good.
Tribalism. Absolutely, it's tribalism, and I say this a million times over. Like the politicians are supposed to represent what's best for the people, and whoever's going to actually do that is who should be in power, and whoever's not, they need to go.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ted, I appreciate you for coming up. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here and send it right over to Parker so we could get some more eyes on
hey, one quick thing that I want to tell you. This is just for you. I've had a couple of people hit me up basically saying thank you for having these conversations with you. And I just want to let you know that multiple people have echoed the sentiments that I've had. And everyone wants to let you know that they appreciate you for, trying and being better. So literally every time I get off with you, I get a flood of people just saying, hey, thank you for saying that. Thank you for the conversation, and say thank you to Dean. So that's it.
Tana, you're great, dude. You're one of my favorite creators on this app. You're phenomenal.
Hey, likewise. I appreciate you.
I hope that you have a good rest of your day, man.
You as well, bud.
Ah, man. Santana is awesome. I really like him. All right, guys. Would y'all comment at Parker get a job in that chat? Wait. Actually, we're on Parker's account. But I replaced the bio. Okay, yeah. Comment at Parker get a job in the chat. We're going to go ahead and head over to his account. We're just going to hang out for a little bit. That's all. Just a little Q&A and a discussion about Palestine. So everyone head over to at Parker get a job. And then, yeah, I think he's going to be ending his Q&A and his discussion here in about 20 minutes. And then he's going to go into debates. I'll probably co-host with him for about an hour. Then I'm going to get off. So, yep. I love you all. I will see you all over on at Parker get a job here very, very shortly. Send on a raid. Just spam Dean raid in the chat. See you all in there. Bye, guys.
Modelnya slip on tanpa tali bro ya. Tuh, modelnya tuh slip on tanpa tali. Harga promonya untuk saat ini di bawah 200 saja ya. Gimana? Di harga di bawah 200 Kak. Langsung sacet masih. Digercepin siang untuk pengiriman. Ya, untuk pengiriman kita siang. Nah, mulai dari sekarang ya, untuk pengirimannya kita siang. Dan nih, kamu dapatin satu paketnya dari kita ya. Dapatin apa? Satu paketnya buat kakaknya, buat Kak Dakar. Dari kota mana Kak? Buat Kak Dakar. Ya, selamat bergabung. Dari kota mana? Dari kota mana saja ya. Nah, di komentar lebih dahulu dari kota mana.